Everybody, hello. I'm greeting the void.
Well, they'll see it eventually,
Yeah, I know, I know.
either on the
Um,
replay or the people who jump into the chat room later.
yeah, I'm sorry didn't make it on, what was it, Thursday? No, Wednesday. Things
Yeah,
got hectic. I
but that's
tell
the
you, it was such a mess because the guys who delivered the washing machine, they came much earlier, and then we had to clean the space, and they were just, it was.
but that's the day I went out anyway. So we went to the gym
Yes, I know, I know.
and ran some errands, and I didn't know I was gonna be there so long because we met up with someone else. So it was like three of us all doing the same routine.
Yeah.
So it took us, almost like 3 hours. We were in the gym for almost 3 hours. So
Yeah, it's fine. It's totally fine. Like it wasn't fitting in my schedule as I thought. I was like, oh, maybe I can take out an hour, and then I realized, okay, it's getting really late, and then we had to get up quite early, and sleep deprivation for me is just not a good idea right now. So yeah, that was
so
it. It was very stressful. It was really stressful the next day. It was chaotic to say the least.
mm,
You know these kind of delivery companies when they keep changing the times and just give you a huge time frame when they're gonna come to deliver,
Amazon or
and then
UPS.
doing it like 2 hours earlier, 2 hours later, all the time, and you just don't know when they're gonna come, and you just have to wait. And sometimes they just show up really late, and sometimes they even shifted to the next day or something. It's very unreliable, and it was like we were just scrambling to get things done before they came. So it was just
Uh, so I said the topic for today would be sort of like what we were talking about earlier this week: sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
yeah. I don't
So you
think
could
there's
give
much
like the
to
insight.
talk about.
Not that you participated in that yourself, but just to like kind of talk about the European music scene and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'd be happy to discuss it. Even though I think I'm more on the outside perspective, though. In some cases, it
That's
depends.
fine. It's more than what we know, so
Yeah, right. Hello to everybody. There's two people watching. I don't know who's watching, but hello to you.
yeah, I can't see either. Oh, they're gone.
They shy. They hide in the chat. Just
Because
lurk.
well, some people just click on just to see what the stream is about and then leave. Others, if it's not something provocative, because how we were just talking off camera, how you were saying I never been to the dark side of YouTube, and I was like, some people actually actively search out that sort of stuff. So if it's not something that's going to grab their attention with something bad, then they're not going to stay. Like, one of the guys who was following me talked about he would go into streams and see people doing stuff like masturbating and stuff, weird stuff like that. And I'm like, what kind of? I was like, what kind of live streams are you watching? He
You
was
don't
like,
have
oh,
though.
uh,
You just have like even if you just scroll through live streams in general, it happened to me too. I've seen weird stuff happening, and I'm not searching it out, not at all. I was just scrolling through basically because I was looking for like if I find something. That's how I stumbled upon your channel in the first place because I was just scrolling through and see what kind of people are just screaming or
so
something.
I guess is the feature when you can go to YouTube Shorts and you can just scroll the way because they set it up to be like a TikTok scroll where you can just hit YouTube Shorts and you can just scroll through it like TikTok.
Yeah, could be.
But since I never liked that with TikTok, I didn't like it with YouTube or Instagram too, because Instagram does the same thing with the Reels,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and you can share the Reels between Facebook and Instagram, like they're like interchangeable. But for people who just want to check out Reels as an alternative to TikTok, they'll do
Mm,
that. But I'm just not interested in watching random. So
yeah, sometimes it's interesting, but you know, I
sometimes
found
if I
I
find
found
something I like,
cool communities. Hi,
uh,
a new
what's up,
new
Clip Catcher?
in the chat. Have you seen the name before? I haven't.
Uh-uh. I think this is a new viewer.
Yes,
Um,
always cool.
but Yeah, so sometimes I'll watch random stuff, but usually it's something that already fits my interest. Like sometimes I watch people shooting guns and stuff like that. And I'll find new channels that I start following that way, or it'll be something about like Star Wars or red pill type of content, and I'll end up liking the people. So I'll watch it more and then end up following them. So that
Okay, yeah.
does happen. But I don't just like really scroll the Instagram. I mean, sorry,
Or
not I don't scroll the YouTube
advertisements.
shorts.
Yes. Instagram is just full of advertisements these days. Anyways, it's just I don't even scroll anymore. I just use it for a couple of things basically, and you
I'm
know,
not
same with Pinterest and all these platforms. They just became a clutter of advertisements, and it's just no more fun. It's just I just nah,
Well,
just
not the regular Instagram. I'm talking about the reels. So they make that separate.
yes, I know, but still,
Yeah,
just a
those
waste of
suck.
time, mostly. If you
They
just
are.
yeah.
And like if you like one thing, then it'll keep feeding that through your algorithm, even though you may not even be interested into that stuff.
Like a hamster wheel. Like keep eating the content. We want to get you addicted. We want to make you stay on here. We want to make you. We want to make money.
Like Cupcatcher says, "No, I'm not a new viewer."
Oh, you've been hiding then. You've been hiding. You sneaky person. You.
Yeah, I remember the people who show up like regularly because they always are leaving comments and stuff. There's
Oh
even
yeah,
some regular trolls, which is funny. Like,
yeah.
and the funny thing is, the trolls will come back and drop a insult, and then I'll just time them out again, so they can come back the next day until I end up banning them. So
It's kind of funny. Kind of funny. Haven't been in a couple of streams. That's fine. You're welcome. You're welcome to be here today. So do you have any specific questions you want to jump into the topic, or
who,
just
me or the clip catcher? You
huh?
talking about me? Or, you talking about me or clip catcher?
No. I was talking about the topic. If you want to like have any specific questions that you planned out, or are you just gonna go? You're just
Oh,
gonna jump and start
yeah,
off.
yeah. I always just wing it. So
Yeah, I'm not judging. I was just, that I'm not, you know.
I was gonna say if you want to like give like your recollection of like maybe the last time you did a performance.
Oh yeah. I could. It was very. Let me think about it. When was it? Oh, it was actually with a couple of friends. It was like I made a band. Um, one of my best friends. He plays guitar. He also sings. He has two bands, or like he always keeps jumping in and out of bands, and his bandmates just keep changing. Where is she from? Germany. I'm German. Ah, yeah, the accent gives it away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we played at a release party of another band. So my friend organized it, but because we were just four people out of four different bands, and we just had one time to practice together, it was pretty chaotic. And we didn't have a sound check, so that was pretty terrible too. Um, yeah, that wasn't a lot of fun, and a lot of things went wrong, and um, yeah, it was a mess because it wasn't like I wasn't performing my music. It was just we did a bunch of cover songs, and oh yeah, I played two of my songs, but that was it. So it wasn't like a performance of my music. It was like a mashup. That was my last performance in general. Um, and the other before that, I think what was it? I played in a couple of places. Like one was very very terrible because they didn't have a sound guy there.
Uh,
The cook it was like a cafe or something, and the cook of the cafe was supposed to do my sound, or like the mixer, and the mixer was half broken. That they like it's like a um what do you say? Not a bracket, like a machine mixing table mixing
a
console.
turntable.
No, not so table. So it was half broken. So my cable stuff didn't work, and they didn't know how to use it. And they were like, "Oh, if this guy is here, then you're lucky because he can figure something out to help you, and if he's not, then you know it's on you to perform something. Even if the equipment was broken, it wasn't my equipment, and I didn't know. I was I was saying in advance, like months earlier, I was saying what I need in terms of equipment and stuff, because you can do your own sound mixing if you have the equipment, but you have to have like a certain program version, and it costs a lot of money, and it's a lot of work in advance if you want to do it that way. But then you have more control, and you're not reliable on the people in the location, because that's always what makes or breaks the sound of any band, if the people there just don't know how to use the equipment. So that was the other one. And the one before that, I think, was the one no, actually, I haven't uploaded any videos of it yet, but that was a solo show, and oh, that was chaotic too. But
How
I want to jump into the things. Oh, it's a Wolverine Deadpool thing. Okay. How do you guys feel about that? I haven't seen it, so I can't comment. I'm not
ne-
into that
neither
stuff.
have I, so I'm avoiding all spoilers, and I'll time anyone out who drops
You still haven't
spoilers.
seen it? You still haven't seen it?
I don't have time. Like
Oh yeah. Didn't you have like tickets to go see it for free?
I did, and I missed it.
Oh man.
Yeah,
That's really,
because
really tough.
well, that one I did have time for, but I was assuming I was gonna have friends come with me, and none of my friends could come. So I was like, all right, I'll just go by myself.
Yes?
You know? But what happened was I found out that it was farther than what I've never been to the theater, and it was farther um than I thought it would be. And so I don't have a car, so
Mm.
I was
Oh,
like, well,
right. Yeah. Yeah, okay, get it. Yeah.
I didn't want to spend I didn't want to spend money on an Uber to get to a free movie. So
Oh yes.
so
That'd
I
be
was like
uh,
I was
then you
like,
spend so much money on this on the ticket for the like
yeah,
for the for
and the yeah, the crazy thing is it was like 10 minutes away driving distance, but with public transportation it would have took like over an hour to get there. And it was already starting within like 20 minutes, like 30 to 20 minutes, when I couldn't find anyone else that wanted to come with me. And I didn't realize, you know, being that it was so close driving wise, that it would take so far on public transportations. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna miss it. I was like, there's no point in me even going if I'm gonna miss half the movie. That's not worth it. So
oh yeah.
I just like, all right, I'll just go another day, and I'll just have to pay to see it, because
Uh
the tickets were free actually. So
I know. That's crazy. I've never been to a I don't know. I think I've never been to a free
yeah,
movie.
it was a promotion by it's a
Oh
black owned movie theater,
yeah,
and so
you
they were trying to drum up um customers for their theater. So they were allowing all these people to come to their new theater for free for that
yeah.
first weekend that it came out, which was a really great idea. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was kind of sour that I missed that, but I haven't really had time since then, because there's like a day, like I kept trying to say I'm gonna do it on a Tuesday. One Tuesday I was about to do it, and then I think I ended up having to go to work, and then uh, this Tuesday I was gonna do it, and then I ended up doing something. So
Or you can ride a bike there. Do you have like a bicycle or something?
mm-mm.
No.
Now
That's all.
you sound like my friend I work for. He was like, "Hey man, you can come into work and just ride a bike." He said it's only a 45-minute bike ride. He was like, he's like, "You're in shape." I was like, "Man, fuck you. I'm not riding no fucking 45."
Yeah, but
40,
movie, like, you know,
well,
I
for
usually
the
need
movie maybe,
to
but
walk, just take my bicycle, because with parking space it can be like terrible.
yeah. Well, he was saying to like come to work, and I'm like, I'm not riding no 45-minute bike ride to work and back. Like I'm not trying to come there all swampy. Plus, it's like 80, 90 degrees outside,
Mm,
Fahrenheit. I'm like,
get it? Yeah.
I'm not doing that. I'm
Oh,
like, he can go screw himself. But
I know a bunch of people who do that. They shower at work or something. I just
But
enjoy it. But not like all of them. But I can see why you wouldn't want to do it as well. Also,
I'm gonna answer this question. Let's get back to the topic. But
yes, yes,
he says, "Are you excited for Doctor Doom movie coming in 2026?" No, and here's why. To me, it's an act of desperation. First of all, it was originally supposed to be about King the Conqueror, but they made him so unlikable that no one liked. Like the supervillain was laughable. He was supposed to be the new Avengers movie, King the Conqueror, and then it was supposed to be Secret Wars with him in it, and it was supposed to be him in, and then he was supposed to be in something else. But the very first appearance, he loses to to Loki in his Disney Plus series. Then he loses to Ant-Man, the weakest member of the Avengers in the movie. Like, how do you lose to Ant-Man? This thing, like, and they were, but it was like they were talking about, yeah, he's conquered multiverses and stuff like that, and he's unstoppable because he's king the conqueror. He can go through time and all sorts of stuff, and then gets beat by a guy who controls ants. Like, man, get the f out of here. And then the character was so hokey. Like, it was I forgot the name of the actor who plays him, but he was he was overacting. So, and then he caught that domestic abuse charge in real life with his
oh,
girlfriend.
oh wow,
So Disney fired him right after that, and so they were scrambling because Marvel has been set with failure after failure after failure because they want to put identity politics into their movies instead of just making good stories. So they realized that's not working for them. Surprise, surprise. But so
yeah.
they bring back Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. And although I like Robert Downey Jr., I don't want to see his legacy as Iron Man destroyed by him now playing a bad guy. So that's why I'm not excited for it because I don't want to see his legacy as Iron Man destroyed by him now coming back to play a villain.
That's
Because
his choice, though. If he
he,
takes,
he
if he needs the money, I don't know.
yeah, well they had to offer him a lot of money to come back to be sure
Yeah,
because
Disney
he was pretty much done.
is fine. It's
But
messed up. Anyways, the whole French Disney company thing, I don't know.
Disney's on some BS. They've destroyed every property that they've grabbed a hold of in the last 12 years.
They sure did. Even though I can't even speak for a lot of things because I haven't seen any movie, like at least not something that is coming out in the cinemas for years, literally years, probably 10 years or something. I don't know. I'm not up to date with any of it. I see trailers here and there, but usually I just stick to whatever I can find on YouTube.
Wait till you see the Snow White trailer, how that's trash. But anyway, let me get back to his point.
Yeah.
So Doctor Doom is like the biggest bad guy in all of Marvel.
Okay.
So they got to do him right. So I understand I'm getting Robert Downey Jr., but it destroys his legacy as Iron Man. Like in Endgame, that was the perfect send off for him.
Mm,
Was his last thing he said is "I am Iron Man," which is the thing he said in his very first movie. I am Iron Man. That's how they ended his story. But to have him come back now as Doctor Doom, I don't like it. Just it everyone realizes it's like an act of desperation by Marvel Studios to get
yeah.
people back. And then they even rehired the Russell brothers. I actually welcomed that, but you can also see as an act of desperation because they originally were having someone else direct Secret Wars, and the Russell brothers said back in 2018 after the end of Endgame that they would come back to Marvel to do Secret Wars. And originally Marvel didn't want them. They wanted to use someone else. But they realized they needed these guys because they've done the most successful Marvel studio films. They did Captain America Winter Soldier, Captain America Civil War, and
How many
Infinity
are
War and
sorry?
Endgame.
How many are there already out? Sorry, I'm looking for another light here. That's why I'm yeah.
What you
It
mean?
seems like a never ending franchise.
It
That's what I
is.
said before. It's just the
So this
recycling
is
of
the
ideas over and over and over. and gets worse and worse. Just cut it off already. I'm so.
Well, this is the multiverse saga.
Ah,
Um,
I figured it out. Yes, better.
the previous 22 movies was the Infinity Saga, based
See, I
on
don't know. I'm not even on the picture. I don't even.
because
I
you're not a
don't.
comic book person. So,
Yeah, just dance something. Keep on talking.
but
I'm
oh,
just
by the way,
getting.
like my Han Solo T-shirt.
Um. Yeah.
Told you I
See.
wear a nice T-shirt. Han Solo.
Yeah, I know the name, but I never seen. I think I never seen a Star Wars, or I just can't remember it, or whatever. If I got it wrong, is it even Star Wars or Star Trek or whatever? I don't even know.
Oh, see, if you were my girlfriend, I'll be making you watch all this stuff with me,
You
like
better
I
not
did,
ask
Mrs.
me anything
Like
about
I
this.
did, like I did Mrs. Contrarian. I made her watch all that stuff.
Oh, poor her. How long did she spend in front of the computer or like the
No,
screen?
we watched it on TV.
Oh, okay. How long was she stuck
I
in
can't
front of
watch
the
stuff on a
screen?
small screen. That's unbearable to me. But
Really? Oh, I'm
yeah,
used to
yeah,
it.
I hate watching stuff on a small screen. Like that's sucks. But no, she actually liked it when she watched Star Wars. It was a little slow because that was in '77, the year I was
Mhm.
born. Then we jumped to Empire Strikes Back afterwards, and she was completely hooked because she didn't. She watched it for the first time the way we watched it back in the '80s for the first time, not knowing the whole
Yeah.
connection of the Skywalkers, that Darth Vader was Luke Skywalker's father and all that stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
when they're fighting uh in Empire Strikes Back
yeah.
in Cloud City, and he was like, I know what you did. He said Obi-Wan told me you killed my father. He was like, no. He was like, no, Luke, I am your father.
That
And
big
yeah,
line.
and my
Repeat.
and my wife turned to me. She was like, baby, is that true? I was like, yes, it's true. She was like, wow. I was like, I know, right? She was hooked. After that, she was hooked.
So confused. I would be feeling like I'm watching the same movie all over again every time. My brain couldn't handle it, I guess.
Clip Catcher says he's going
Hey,
now. You
Andrew,
ever
thank
go
you for
into
being here and spending some time with us.
thanks, bro. Come back more often.
It's good.
But he said I felt the same way about Robert Downey Jr. But Doctor Doom has a bunch of cameos and opens new characters. Yeah, like I said, I'm excited about Doctor Doom. I just don't like. I just think that it's going to destroy his Robert Downey Jr. legacy as Iron Man in the movies, because he was like the heart of all the Marvel Studio films.
Yeah.
Like he was
I
the
still
heart of the
him.
Avengers.
I still think I've seen him. I think Iron Man. I probably saw one of. I think I saw Iron Man, and I really liked his acting performance. He's a great actor, I think.
Yeah, he's a
But
great actor. Then there was the controversy of people were saying, well, why did they bring him back and they didn't bring back Jonathan, the guy who played King the Conqueror, because people were citing both their problems with legal issues in the past. And I was like, man, that's really a stretch. It's not the same thing, because the stuff that um, Robert Downey Jr. got in trouble with as far as the law was like, this was like over 30 something years ago when he used to have a substance abuse problem.
yeah, I heard of that.
Plus, that was never something he had to deal with when he was working for Marvel. So he didn't have any issues that caused him to get fired from Marvel. So whereas with Jonathan Winter, whatever his name is, um, this happened while he was in the midst of getting ready to film, new movies with Marvel. So that was the problem with his situation. Plus, people keep forgetting the other reason why they got rid of him wasn't just his legal issues. It was the fact that no one liked his character. So
Mm.
that was the other thing. Like I said, King the Conqueror wasn't a he wasn't a good bad guy, because like no one's gonna be scared of a villain who gets beat the very first time you see him, right? Like if someone came to bully you and you see something, punch them in their mouth and knock them out, would you still be scared of that bully?
It's not the best storyline for a villain, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if someone came up to bully you, right? and
Yeah.
then your friend just punched him in the mouth and knocked him out, would you still be afraid of this person the next day they come at you? Probably
No.
not.
Mm-mm.
Exactly. Same thing. Basically, that's what happened with King the Conqueror. You you saw him the first time you see him, he gets beat. That's not good. Whereas with Thanos, the first time you saw Thanos, we didn't know anything that was unless you were like a comic book person. No one had any idea how threatening Thanos was. But all you know, you just saw him like in a post credit scene, like
Okay.
on the very first Avengers movie. You see in a post credit scene when he's in his little flying swivel chair, and he was like, "I guess I gotta do this myself." And then you see him again in Guardians of the Galaxy, and again they show more of him, but he's threatening. Like no one's like taking him down or anything like that. He's like, "Oh, this guy's a real threat." Then you see him a third time, and then finally they show him in Infinity War, and he's scary because all of you've seen nothing but how dangerous he was in all previous films, showing the clips of him. Whereas with Kang, as soon as he enters, he gets beaten, and his multiverse variant gets beaten as well by Loki. So it's
Okay.
like he gets beaten, another version of him gets beaten. Where is it that you're supposed to be afraid of this guy in his own movie? Like it doesn't make sense.
Maybe they lost the plot because they've been making so many movies that they got confused themselves at some point.
No, I
That's
think they just had
it's
they just
like
had they just
TV
had
series.
it was just bad story writing. That's what
Yeah,
it
but
was.
with a lot of TV series, when there's like continuation, I think it's what we call it, continuation mistake, where they
No,
like keep
no,
like they set down some basic rules or some basic storyline for the first couple of episodes, and suddenly they make another episode and everything gets thrown out the window. What happened before, and you just think, "How? What? Now it doesn't fit together with the whole." It's not.
no. The
It's not.
Disney Plus series and the movies have been continuous. The only time they weren't continuous is when they decided they're not going to do the show anymore because the shows get canceled because of low ratings. So
Yeah.
there was supposed to be an Eternals part two that got
Okay.
canceled because the first movie did so poorly.
I saw the trailer for Eternals. I like the soundtrack. I never seen the movie, but I like the trailer sound.
The
It
movies,
actually inspired a whole song that I wrote. I just remember that.
yeah, the movie sucked, and they changed everything about them from the comics. Like they were supposed to be gods that resembled the Greek and Roman gods. Instead, now they're robots. It was just really bad, and it was like they were pushing diversity so hard. Like
Oh,
why? Like these are supposed to be like sort of like robotic gods. So why are some of them? Why is one of them deaf? One of them like a black gay guy? Like
the upgrade yet.
another
That's big dev. His system is just not updated yet.
it, it was bad. But anyway, let's get back to the topic. So you were
That's all.
saying you had to do cover songs. Like, how do you do that without any? So you could just do that without any training, just do cover songs and stuff like that
You mean on stage or on YouTube or what?
on stage.
Mm, yeah, basically it's easy to do cover songs. If you get thrown together like last minute, because everybody can practice on their own, because you look up the chords and stuff and the notes online, and then you just set up if you play the original key, or like if you do an alternate key or something, and then everybody knows it, and the lyrics and everything is just online available, and you can just look it up. It's easy to practice separately, even a cover song, and then just go on stage if you know like each other in some way. Like that's how jam sessions work too, because there's just random people playing instruments together and just vibing off of each other. So it's easier to do that than if you have to perform a specific song that one member of a thrown together band wrote and nobody practiced or heard before, because it's not released or it's not available, or you have to send files around so everybody knows the pacing and the BPMs and all that stuff. So it's easy to do cover songs live. Actually, it's much easier. That's why so many cover bands exist, I guess, because people know them. It's easier to gain like a public following, I guess. there's like one friend of mine. He actually has been in this huge cover band thing. It's like, I don't know, 20 people in there or something, and they've been playing on uh, like city festivals for years now, and they're always playing the same, not the exact same songs, but and I find it very boring to always, like I would be bored out of my mind. I even get bored playing my songs over and over again sometimes, and I just, for every set list you pick out, I have to pre-program a lot of stuff, so I have to mesh together, knit together a very intricate set list, and have to make sure that my CPU can handle it and what parts I will play live. I have to do everything in advance, and I have to remember everything and which instrument and which part comes when and all that stuff. So,
Well, let's switch gears into the spicy stuff that everybody's probably looking for from the title of the topic.
yeah, I don't know
So,
if anyone have any spicy stuff to share, but
or stuff that you know of that's happened within that circle, like as far as the, all the stuff that people think about when it comes to like entertainers and rockers and stuff like that. Like, does that stuff really happen that often? Like, as far as all the, how do I put it? All the wild behavior type stuff. Was that
uh,
more? Was that more on the? Was that more on the level of the more bigger stars or whatever? I don't know.
it really depends. I had some not run-ins, I would say, but I was in touch with some people of the industry. I don't know if I told you about that, but like some bigger names actually. And I'm not. Yeah, actually, I got invited to do some meeting in Arizona with some managers and stuff, and one time also New York. And there's legit people, but the thing is, there's a lot of people get, like, I heard some stories of like like here and also abroad, that people just I don't know, I don't want to get this stream canceled, unaliving themselves basically.
Mm.
That's pretty common, I would say. And people go in with the wrong expectations and the wrong it's like uh it's not as glamorous if you think about that. It's just, I don't know. I come from a different perspective because of being not quite healthy, and for me everything is super exhausting. And because I do everything on my own, I have no help whatsoever in any regard. Music production, I do all on my own. So whenever I do a show, I'm just happy when I make it there and it goes well and I go home. So I'm not like the type who hung out with these kind of shady people. You run into them, but it's not like it's also if you live close in the cities where all these people hang out, because I don't live in the circles or the music scene where I usually perform at. I'm pretty isolated, I would say, from that lifestyle, and I don't have any interest in joining it. But I think it's, regarding the wild lifestyle, it's not as common as you think. If you think, oh, people go out and party all the time, if you mean that, or substance abuse is definitely a thing, I would say. But I don't know if it's generally more spread out in the music community or like general population. In some cases, I said that also before. So and with
I
the
mean, just
bigger
like
names,
the debauchery of any sort. Like, I know from people working in like acting and stuff like that that people are pretty um what's the word, libertine about their behaviors. Like everyone's hooking up and stuff like that. Off offset. Like, does that?
I mean, yeah. Again, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's a specific thing for the music. industry or the music scene. It could be, but I guess I'm not involved with these kind of people because I don't support that kind of lifestyle. So I never did. But so I'm not getting involved with these kind of people. I stay out of this kind of trouble. But
Uh,
there are some circles where people might do that, but it's none of my business, and I stay out of that trouble. I'm too busy with creating stuff, and most people actually who are indie musicians, like not signed to a label like myself, they just some even have families, so they're just really grounded, really down to earth, and they don't engage in that kind of behavior at all. Just you work hard and you put out content, and you just have no energy for that kind of thing. And
uh,
or if you're like a bigger name, you have a huge team of people, and you have that kind of free time, I would say, that an indie artist doesn't have, because you just you pull all the load yourself, you pull all the work yourself, so there's
uh,
nobody to do anything for you. Maybe one person if you're lucky, or like you don't even have a manager, you have nothing. So
mm. I
busy,
guess
you're busy to engage in that. If you just do this partying lifestyle, you never amount to anything as an indie musician. That's what I can say. You're not gonna make it because it's so much
I guess
work.
from I guess from watching all these biopics on, like in the movies and on TV,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
the stereotype is, the more talented, the more messed up their personal lives are. Like the more
Mm,
like like it seems like the super talented ones are the ones who's usually the ones that's got a lot going on outside of the music as well. Because it seems like it goes hand in hand, like the talent with the
insanity.
reckless. Not no, not the insanity. Like no, I
I
mean
would like
like I
some
said,
guys
it seemed
kind of
like if
crazy.
you no, I mean like if you watch musical biopics about famous musicians, it seems like all of them had a lot of stuff going on in their personal lives. Like if you watching something about the Doors
Yes,
and
I know. No, the last 48 hours or something. Did you see that?
or huh?
Of, there's like a series. The last 24 hours, the last 48 hours of famous musicians like Sid Vicious, Amy Winehouse, um, the guy from the Doors. I don't remember his name right now. The front guy.
Jim
Um,
Jim
JD. Yeah, yeah. Janis Joplin.
yeah, like I said, if you watch stuff like that, like most of these people dabbled in a lot of drug usage, a lot of sexual profligacy,
Yeah.
and so like it, from the outsider looking in, it seemed like that might be sort of like the norm. But you're saying it's not really for people like on the indie scene.
No, because you know what's the difference when you are an indie artist like myself, you don't have the time because you do all the work. If you really are like all in, some people like have multiple jobs on the side, so music is just the thing that they do at nighttime or something they sacrifice a lot. If you do it all yourself and you don't have a label backing you, and if you don't have a label, you don't have the funds, so you don't have like lots of money to spend. You have to really try to make ends meet. Touring is, there's just so much to consider when you're just starting out, when you're like smaller, um on the opposite to somebody who is like, I don't know, take Little Peep, or somebody who's just gets picked up by a label and then basically not abused. Yeah, I mean, he was abused, but exploited. That's what the word I was looking for. Exploited, and they get thrown a bunch of money at them, and then the label just even provides them with substances and drugs, just that the artist functions. And that's where the dangerous kind of lifestyle spirals, because everything gets pulled away from them. They basically are mostly isolated from families or friends because they just put in on touring nonstop to bring in the money. So
Mhm.
that's one factor I'd say. Like they're just constantly touring or in the studio and constantly working, working, working. And I think they lose footing in that way. Like
But
they
usually,
don't have a ground thing. So they just spiral easier because they don't have anything to put them back on ground, and they have all this money and everything just, everything is basically there. Especially in higher circles like substances and these parties and stuff and these people. There's a whole big of like not conspiracy. I would say it's conspiracy, but
Yeah,
whole plan.
I thought a lot of that stuff will go on like during the tours or at the studio.
Yeah, that happens too.
At least in hip hop, like it seems like they do a lot of their dirt in the studio, which can motivate them for their songs. So
Yeah, there's even like a lot of especially exploitation of female artists. Like they get in if you don't like if it's a difference if you like just sing or if you produce your own stuff too. Producing, mixing, mastering, there's a lot that goes into it, and there's all different kind of work spaces, work processes,
uh,
and usually it gets divided up onto a certain like amount of people. And so the artist just is a performer in the end. It doesn't even write the songs anymore most of the time in the big name industry, like take Katy Perry or something. Like so many songs are just basically sold to them or just taken on by the management and not even written by the artist. The artist is just a face in the end. They're not even that not even putting in the work themselves anymore. So
shoot, I wouldn't be mad at
they're just
it.
a puppet. It became a puppet. They become a puppet, and you become, I think, empty in a way. You have because you're isolated. You're constantly on tour. You're just working, 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 and then there's a sense of emptiness. You can be famous, you can be having hundreds of fans, and you're still empty inside, and that's what the coping starts. Loneliness and substances just fill that void pretty easily. You know,
Hmm.
I think that's where that kind of lifestyle comes from, especially, but also artists do have. I think if you have to have a certain degree of crazy or something, I think, in you, and that also like a lot of artists, they just don't. It's like people think, oh, somebody becomes famous and then they dig into substance abuse or something because they can't handle the fame. But usually it's they already have a like they're susceptible for substance abuse or even dealt before, like before they became famous with it. It's not like they just you know or Justin Bieber, like a child star basically, and he got thrown into it, signed to record labels, and then all that horrible stuff. That's a
Like,
whole different.
yeah, having Dave talking about you gonna party with me to Bieber.
Yeah, that standard
Why
phrase
you
that would.
asking a 14-year-old boy if he's gonna party with you and you're like 40? Like,
Yeah, that actually happens a lot. Like with actors and actresses, as like Hollywood itself, it's a whole. I'm glad I never got into it, but it's a whole different world, and you have to do certain things to get accepted there and stuff. And you shouldn't do that. It's not worth it. Nothing. It's not worth it.
uh, well,
Mm.
so with the offers you said you got from some of these producers, did you come? Have you been to the U.S.?
No, because I was too sick. I couldn't ever travel. I was really, really sick all this time.
Uh,
It went on for 10 years. So I never had the chance to, like, the funds and the health to travel. Like, it was not an option at all. So,
they weren't able to. They wouldn't have paid for your flight.
no.
Oh no, they wanted you to pay for your own flight to come to see them.
Yeah, I think it never got that far. I got sent a song that I should record vocals for from, I don't know, do you know Skrillex? The artist? I don't know if he has still a band, but his band, the guitarist Matt Good, that's his name. And he produced the song with somebody else, and the song got sent to me, and I was asked to do some vocal recordings, and I did. And then I asked if I could ever publish the song on my profiles too, because if I wouldn't be able to publish it, or that's the whole thing with legal rights when you have songs with bigger artists. There's a lot of legal stuff involved, and if you don't have a legal team on your side, you're basically losing.
Well,
So
instead of asking for being able to publish it, why don't you ask? Could you get some sort of um, I don't know, some sort of residuals or points or whatever, how whatever they call it, and over there, like because it was going on a song that's going on his album, right?
No, no. It was not like on an album or something. It was just a project that was just sent to me. There was no deadline or like an album or something.
No, I mean, but it was with the intention of him making it into a song, right?
Yeah, but they couldn't like they couldn't give me any information. So I was like, I'm not gonna
Well,
put in all of it. I did record vocals, but I was not entirely happy with them because I already dealt with like several, like my whole throat was inflamed. I couldn't sing properly, and I was like, oh, I can't send that out. And then I asked if it's ever gonna be published or not, or like if there's ever gonna be like not even if I have the rights, but if it's ever gonna be like seeing the daylight basically. And he was like, I don't know, I'm not sure. And I was like, okay, man, if I have like a concert coming up, I have to put all my time and effort into that or other projects. So I have to calculate too. And they just sometimes they just actually do it in one day or two and then it's done. But it takes time, it takes effort, and
well, no, I mean, just from doing it, were they going to give you some sort of income for it?
no, no. You don't get paid much if you like a new but nobody. You don't get paid. You take it for granted. You get
Nah, that's not
yeah,
like they getting
well,
over
they pay you
because
anything. It's like that when you like an indie artist and somebody else on the same level of like
but I'm saying
subscribe
there should be but
stuff
I'm saying
comes.
there should be some sort of benefit from it. Like if you're gonna lay down vocals, either you're gonna get some sort of income for it, or they're gonna like put your name as someone that contributed to the music on their thing. So
Yeah, that's
say
what I'm saying.
so either one of the two things. So either you get accolades for your vocals, or you get paid for one or the other, if
Yeah,
not both.
because I couldn't make sure of that, I was like, I was pushing it to the side because I was not getting any information if it's ever gonna be
That's why you
uh,
need a manager because they
thing.
would have made sure that something like that happens. Like
Yes,
someone's not
exactly.
going to just use your talent.
That's one of the reasons. Other than my health, that was one of the reasons why I was like, oh, I'm not sure if I should continue. Oh, sorry.
No problem. But yeah, this is the reason to have a manager, to make sure that that sort of stuff happens, that you are
Yeah,
either that you're like compensated or given some sort of credit for um musical
yeah,
credit for
I know. I
that sort of
know.
thing.
It's very tough, especially that's what I said. A lot of music, in the music scene, a lot of it is about having a legal team because a lot about it, or where the income or where the money comes from, is about having rights to your songs.
Yeah,
That's
you know,
it's like a
you
lot
know,
of legal stuff.
I don't know
And
about Europe, but in the U.S., the music business has always been tied with organized crime. So you definitely need representation.
yeah,
I'm
that's
serious. Like,
yeah, I know. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that's
but
one of
yeah,
the
you need like you should definitely have some sort of manager. If you have a friend that's in the business, man, I couldn't do it because I don't know anything about the music business. But
yeah, but I prefer actually because you have to function. You have to be always like functioning and always healthy, or just they put you on medication in the worst case. If like little Peep, he was
or
not
you
able,
could,
didn't want to perform. They just pumped him full of substances, and
or you,
he died of it in the end.
or you could hire a talent agent. Like, go like um that if I guess that would work if you don't have a in place of finding a manager, you could find a talent agent that could get you gigs. That can, or if not gigs, get you work through like putting down vocals for other artists and making sure you're getting paid for it and getting your musical credits for it, stuff like that. But
But nobody wants to
maybe
do
find a
that.
talent agent.
That's the thing. Nobody, if you like small like me, nobody wants to pay you for that. They just, nobody higher up. Like somebody, sometimes you get like requests from people in the industry, like I said before, and then they just basically say, "Oh, you're so small. You're benefiting from us, so you can't ask for anything in exchange, basically." And if you have somebody on your level, like be it like the same follower size or something like that, or YouTube representation or whatnot, you basically say, "Oh yeah, I give you this," and you produce that and stuff like that. So it's just there's never gonna be there's always
Well,
like always you just want to make sure there's an equal exchange, but that's why it's so hard to make it as an indie artist. The most income or the only income, if you do have one, is through live performances, and that is
well,
very exhausting, especially if you're not healthy like me. That's why it's just so difficult, you know. And nobody
well,
pays for equipment breaks. Nobody gives a damn. That's the
well, most
thing.
of
You're
the talent,
competitive
the
too.
way the talent agents work, they get paid when you get gigs. That's how that works. They get
Well,
paid. That's so it's different. Like talent agents, they find you work, and they get paid when you get these gigs. That's how talent agencies work. So it's
okay.
different. So they work with up and comers because that's how they're always looking for the next new hot thing.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying it could be worthwhile to try to find a talent agent because they will find you work. And like I said, they're motivated to find you work because they get paid when you get gigs. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, the thing is not that it's an issue to get gigs. That's not the issue, but I wasn't healthy enough. That's the thing. If I can't calculate how my body is functioning in, like, say, 3 months, I could be half dead. That happened before. That was always the issue, that I just barely made it to my shows and just pulled through no matter what. And I was like sick for like a week straight afterwards because I know now why, but and then I always got like criticized for like singing not properly, or like, oh, I should take singing lessons and you're singing too quietly and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I have an constantly inflamed throat, and I don't know why, but I'm trying my best. And that got frustrating too. Like, I get it, understand it, I totally get the criticism, but sometimes you just, like, when your health is not there, you don't even want to take on responsibility, and possibly messing up gigs and then ruining your name in the scene, basically, because people say, "Oh, she just can't perform live." So that's another thing to consider when you can't perform, or you can't calculate how well you're going to be doing, or your equipment breaks down and you can't afford to repair it.
Mm.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. It's just like that. You're just on your own. You don't get taken seriously. You always have to fight with the sound guy to not mess up your sound and stuff like that. That's just a lot of when you're on your own. If you have a band, or if you like with people that are respected, if you're like in the scene for a bit longer and you have made a name for yourself, that's a different issue. But when you're newcomer, you just have to deal with all sorts of things. You just have to take it. You just have to deal with it. There's no way around it. That's how
Uh,
it is.
I mean, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh,
I forgot what I was gonna say.
talent agent. That's what we got stuck with. Like hire, like looking for the next hot thing, and getting gigs and stuff. Getting paid when like an artist get gigs. That's what you said last.
Yes. So yeah, like I was saying, so they're motivated by actually finding you work because they get paid a commission from when
Yeah,
you find gigs. Um,
on your payroll.
so I was like, that could be useful. But I was like, if your health is that compromised, do you think you can even perform anymore? Because, um, like, like you need your your vocal cords to be able to perform. So if you can't do it, then
It's not
uh,
only that, because the months, it takes months, literally months in advance to prepare a show. It's not like you just pick out a couple songs and then you rehearse them. It's just, in my case, I have to pick out specifically which songs, and then I have to program and take out like little parts that I'm going to perform live. Like, I know how, yeah, as I said before, it's probably a bit difficult to understand, but if you're not like using music programs, I have to take out certain parts, like a piano or something, and I have to perform them via USB. So there's a latency. So I can't, like, if I had standalone instruments like guitars is always like guitar is a whole different story because it's like an analog instrument. But the other ones are just running through the computer, and the computer is the the machine that runs it. Basically, it's not be able to run it on its own, because they're much cheaper. And if you don't have the funds to have like a standalone sampling machine or something like that, then you have to make sure that your computer can push through the whole set and not get stuck. And then you have to rehearse it and see if everything runs smoothly. And then you have to have a certain playtime. You can't overdo that. So you have to pick out songs that fit into the time frame. There's a whole lot of consideration and programming that goes into it. And it takes literally months and months of sleep deprivation and stress, and that can really take a toll in my case, and it had a toll on my health a couple times.
Do
So
you do you have a fallback if you're not going to be able to perform as an artist anymore?
right now I don't have anything because my health got so terrible it almost took me out. So I have nothing at right now. I was basically sick even like at the end of school.
Uh-huh.
I was already sick when I was still in high school. That's when all the stuff started, and then I went to like different workplaces, and I went to university, dragged myself through that with tons of pain, and then surgery after surgery, and then that thing spiraled. So right now I'm just trying to get back on my feet, get treatment as quick as possible so I can do something. It's not that I'm just lazy or something. No,
I've
I have
never
a lot
thought
of
that.
things. I always tried to get back and back and back, and then whenever I tried to do something, I got really sick again, or I got like, you know, taken out basically.
What
And I
about
didn't
maybe
know
writing
why.
music for other artists?
Huh?
What about perhaps writing music for other artists or editing music for um other content creators, stuff like that?
I would do that in a
That's
heartbeat.
stuff you could do at
But
home.
yeah, if my equipment wasn't like just not working properly right now. So right now I'm stuck in a really bad situation, but you know.
Or like I said, just writing music for other artists. That as
Yeah,
well.
I already
A
did
lot,
that. I actually
a
did
lot.
that.
Yeah, because a lot of performers also make a lot of money as songwriters too. Like a lot of the big well, so I don't know about the European musical scene, but I know a lot of artists here that are big. A lot of them actually write their own music or they write music for other artists, and that's how they've actually covered their been able to maintain their lifestyle
Yes.
even when they were no longer performing. It's that they are in the background like writing music for other artists and stuff like that. Because I think they actually get paid more for sometimes writing the music for other artists than actually performing.
Yeah, that's true. But nobody wants to pay you here. So that's the
That's
thing. Actually,
so
if you don't if you
some of it
don't
sounds like a German thing and not like a like
know, I don't know, but it's like I've done like I've produced whole songs for other artists on an album, and they just broke themselves basically. We all stuck in the same boat. If you don't have a name for yourself and not like a household kind of audience, it's a lot of weight to pull. You have to do social media. You have to do a lot of things to just even be seen as somebody that is worth it to invest money in that kind of sense. Sometimes you
that's
can produce, sometimes you can produce, that you are right, there's a market for producing beats, like especially like in the rap scene. That's how people can make some money, but also there's huge competition. There's huge, huge, huge competition. And if your mixing game or your production is not top notch, nobody's even gonna look at you.
well, I
If you
mean,
don't
like for songwriters, like that's something more like you don't need equipment to write songs and stuff like that. Like that's just
but to produce,
creativity.
to transfer them, you have to have it. That's no way around it these days.
No, I'm not talking about producing. I'm just talking about being a songwriter. Like that doesn't require equipment. That just requires creativity. Like being a poet.
But in the strength, yeah, in the strictest sense, you're right. But you still, when you transfer an idea, you have to record it somehow, so somebody gets an idea. You can't do without it.
Mm,
And people have a certain expectation because even if you're like a beginner, even if you're an indie artist who does like myself, who's producing everything on their own, who's mixing everything on their own, which is very unusual actually. Most artists don't do that. Like the bigger artists that you hear on radio or Spotify, the big ones, they don't do that. So people always have the same expectations of you in terms of production quality, no matter how bad your equipment is. You always get criticized for it. Doesn't matter. There's no. It's very cutthroat. It's very cutthroat
Well,
most of the time. People don't care. They just, oh, your sound sucks or that sucks. They don't care if you're sick. They don't care if your equipment, if you can't afford the equipment. They don't care about that. People don't care. They absolutely don't care. And if you explain something, it's always seen as an excuse. That's my experience, and other people's too. It's very sad, but people don't care.
I think that's why things are so more litigious here, because you need to have legal agreements so that you don't get jerked
Screw
for
the
the work you do.
Yeah, I know.
I think I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure over there you need to have like um, lawyers and stuff like that to make sure, because I think that's the difference between the indie scene and the professionals, that everything is litigious on a professional level. Like everything is agreed upon. Like, all right, I've done 10 minutes of this, I get paid X amount of money for that.
Mm,
Um,
yeah.
I wrote this, so I'm getting paid for this, and every time it's used, I get this amount of money for it.
Yeah,
Like all of that's like hammered down.
that's
So
true. That's true. And you can actually do that as an indie artist too, I think. But you have to have the legal knowledge. And you can't just, you either hire somebody who has the legal knowledge, the same goes for taxes and all that stuff. You don't learn that. You have to either go to university or hire somebody. And what
well,
money can you hire
yeah,
somebody
most
from?
people will hire someone, because, like I said, I don't think I don't think people can do that. Well, I don't think on the indie scene people can live off of the work that they perform if they don't have someone looking out for them on the legal side of things. Because
Yeah,
otherwise, you're always going to get screwed by people who can think they can get over on you. So,
yeah. I mean, the one thing is, when it's like it's I don't know how you say that, but you basically get treated like an intern, as an
uh-huh.
an upcoming or like entry level artist. You always get treated like an intern that you don't have to pay, and you just can do can throw all the stuff at and just
Mhm.
have it. Basically, that's how the industry is like, for the most part.
And this
And
gets
but you get treated all you're lucky if you even have like a slot to perform and stuff. And if people don't like you for your character or because of your music or some other personal relations, that when the spicy the spicy tea, whatever you want to call it, might put into, if you have the wrong relations with the wrong people not gonna like you, and people like gonna be like, oh no, you're not gonna play here. And then
well,
it's
this gets into the whole talk about sex in the industry as well, because this is why some people are willing to
do things.
give their bodies to people to
Yes.
ensure that they are taken care of. Like, I mean, we know that like we know that Diddy does this, and he's done this with both male and female artists. Like,
No, Diddy.
yeah, so he
It's not funny, but
people who wanted him to make them stars, like they were willing to do things for him to become
yeah,
stars. And like I said, I'm talking about both the male and female performers. Like
I
he's he's taking advantage of both. All this and all this stuff is going to come out in his case, by the way, because this all
it's
goes into
actually
his
believe
alleged
so.
trafficking and stuff. Because like if you're bringing people across state lines and having them agree to do certain things for you in exchange for others, it's kind of bad. And he's not the only one. He's just the most
No,
high profile. He's just the most high profile person being caught with this.
yeah,
There's
it
other
all
people,
it all works like
Jermaine
that.
Dupri. There's some other people being caught up with that, like Jermaine Dupri and some other people.
Mhm, yeah,
Jamie
absolutely.
Jamie Foxx was involved in that case with Diddy. Believe it or not, I don't know how, but apparently Jamie Foxx is caught up in that. I mean, no. I'm sorry. Was it Jamie Foxx or Cuba Gooding Jr.? One of those two guys.
Mm. They're
No,
all
I'm sorry. Not. I'm
quite
sorry.
bad.
It wasn't Jamie Foxx. It was Cuba Gooding Jr. That's who it was. The actor.
Yeah,
So
there's a lot of corruption and a lot of shady stuff and things and going on. And that's why I said it's not worth it to
But,
do that
but like I
thing.
said, I don't know. Like I said, for some of these artists, for them, some of them, it is worth it because
No, it's not.
I'm, I'm
It's
not
legal
saying it.
again.
I'm not saying it is worth it. I'm saying for those particular individuals, it may be for them because now they have a musical career.
Yeah,
So
but what?
for, for them, it was worth it. I'm not saying it is worth it, but for them, it was because one time of of selling themselves basically led to them being able to be these stars. And on top of this, and then on another thing is sometimes if they refuse, they'll get blacklisted by these people like Diddy and stuff. They be like, all right, if you don't do this for me,
Yeah,
then not only will you not work for me, I'm gonna make sure they don't work with you.
yeah, I know. That's why I say, like, there's this famous verse of the Bible that says, "What if, what shall a man like? What if, like something like, if like, what shall a man gain if he gain? What does a man gain if he wins the whole world or something and loses his soul or something like
The
that?"
whole world.
Yeah, it's like basically when
I'll,
you
I'll take the whole world.
all material stuff and this
No
this
Diddy, but
is worth more than that. And that's what basically it's very true. It's very true. But most people see it when it's too late, when they're already into deep. Because when you're young and you're impressionable and when you're desperate especially, that's when these people just come out for you and then try to catch you and get you in
I'm
that
getting a lot
line.
of feedback. Do you have YouTube on your on another device?
Mm, no.
Oh, okay, because that I was about to say 'cause that'll cause feedback if you have like YouTube on while you're on a live stream.
No, no. Maybe I can. I already closed when I try to close the app. I think I just have Instagram on in the back, and I can't close it because last time I did the stream here froze.
No, just like if you have like on YouTube or something like that, it'll cause like a feedback or like something like that.
Mm-mm.
Because some people when they go live, they want to see themselves while they're on the live, and they don't
Uh-uh.
realize that it's caught. They don't know that it'll cause a like a, a lot of feedback
Now I'm frozen.
on their
See,
video.
now I'm frozen again because I tried to close it.
Mm.
Tried to close background apps. I'm frozen again.
And let me make sure I'm not doing the same thing. I don't want to be a hypocrite.
Frozen. There's frozen.
I can still hear you though.
I know. Same thing. Whenever I try to close anything, I mean it. I was just looking if I had anything on in the background, but I don't, and now I'm frozen.
So so if someone came up to you, I don't know who's your biggest star, but I'll just make up someone. Right? Say it's I don't know, Ed Sheeran, right? Ed Sheeran says, "Hey, I really like," and I don't know if you actually like Ed Sheeran. I'm just using him as an example, okay?
I
Because my
prefer
wife like,
songs.
because
Cool,
my wife
actually.
likes him. My wife likes Ed Sheeran, so he
Yeah.
comes up and says, "Hey, I really like your talent. Blah blah blah. Why don't you hang out with me? You know, hang out with me for a night, and after we can talk about doing something about making you getting you an album like with you get and I'll give you like half a credit on on every on like every sale or however they work it out,
Yeah.
um and you can even get your and we'll even give you your own label as part of the deal, and we'll give you I don't know like a million up front for your advance.
Mm-hmm.
So, would you still turn it down?
Yes, I would turn it down.
And by the way, he will also say, and I know that you have your health issues, so you don't actually have to put anything out right now. It's just that we're going to keep you under contract so that when you do release music, it has to come to us, and and you won't be responsible for this cash advance until you actually start making money from it. Then, which is this is highly unrealistic, right? But I'm just saying, like this, just to sweeten the pot, because this is all unrealistic, right? Like, you've never performed before, and like you're getting like a half credit on your sales, your record sales. You're getting your own label. You're getting like $1 million cash advance, and you're
Oh,
under contract, and you're under contract for the albums, so you don't have to do it anytime like right now. But you will still turn it down.
a 360 deal, basically. Yeah, we're kind of down 100%. I wouldn't take it. You
A
might
lot
think
of
that's
people
good.
wouldn't. A
No,
lot of
I'm
people
not
wouldn't.
getting these kind of people. No matter the money that they're throwing at me, they could throw me 30 million. I wouldn't accept it. I know what my value, what I value, and what my priorities are. I wouldn't accept it. No.
Not to mention that money will help go towards your treatment. So, because
Yeah, but still, what is it worth it? When I'm trapped in
it,
a contract and I don't have any say in any music, and I have to do things for these kind of
it
people,
depends. It
stuff
de-
that's going on, I wouldn't do it.
so it depends on what you consider worth it, obviously, right? So for me, right, like I've I've never wanted to compete because I'm scared that if I became like a professional fighter, I would end up with CTE later on in life. And
Yeah.
now I'm thinking, because of my financial struggles, I don't know, maybe it could be worth it to be a professional fighter for a few years just to have that income to do some certain things for me and Mrs. Contrarian. So it's like now I'm considering like the possibility of injury and CTE now I mean later on as compared to like having like a little financial cushion right now. Uh, I I would seriously consider it.
Yeah, I mean it's always, it comes down to um what kind of values, I guess, you have, and priorities. Um and money sure does help in some situations. I'm not saying as oh you should suffer needlessly all the time, but um maybe we should start over the stream or something. Maybe it works better.
Yeah, if I was gonna say probably just go out and re-enter. That should probably work. Like
Yeah,
remember like
but
last time. All right, guys. So I don't know who's still in the chat, but she'll be right back. She has some connectivity issues, so hopefully she can jump right back into the stream. In the meanwhile, so we are talking sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That's the topic with Miss Needle. She is an indie um, music performer in Germany, and she's had actually some options to go professional, but as she's telling us right now, she's saying a lot of it just didn't work out because of her chronic health problems, and that is a deterrent for her to fully realize her musical ambitions. So right now, I was questioning her about, but what if she got a really sweet deal from a prominent producer, A&R exec, or something of the type in exchange for like a quid pro quo sort of thing. And she's saying she wouldn't do the deal. So I had to respect that. I was telling her though, I'm not sure that a lot of people would turn it down, especially in this day and age, because everybody wants to be insta famous. And if someone was given that such a sweet deal like that, I'm pretty sure a lot of them would take it. Especially when you have women now who will fly down to Dubai and let people defecate on them for a lot of money. So it's good to see that there's still people with values out here. So um, a lot of you who think there aren't good women out there, they still are. Like her, like she's in a position where maybe someone could ask her to do something compromising. Well, let me give her the link, guys. Give me 1 second. I just sent it to you on your Instagram. Hopefully you got it.
It just
It's
keeps
okay.
coming up. I don't know why. It's always the same issue. I don't know what's going on.
Did you see what I was telling people? I was saying I was explaining like
I caught the last sentence, I think.
yeah. So I was telling them that while you were working on your connectivity, that I was just basically telling them more about you. I was saying you're an indie um, music artist from Germany. That
Yeah.
you've had some opportunities um, to possibly work with some professionals, but it hasn't worked out for you because of your chronic health condition.
Yeah.
But, then I was saying that I was asking you if you were given some sort of sweetheart deal from a producer or an A&R exec in exchange for like sort of a quid pro quo, would you do it? And I was telling them that you would turn it down.
Yeah, I would.
And I was saying that she's unique in that you're unique in that regards, because I think a lot of people wouldn't turn it down. I was
Mm,
like, because everybody now wants to be famous, because no one wants to get it out the mud anymore, so to speak. If you ever heard that phrase, get it out the
yeah,
mud.
I get it. I get it. I get it. I get the meaning.
Yeah, because unless you like get higher education, it's really hard to make it nowadays. Like I don't. This is one of those things I really disagree with these red pill content creators who tell people that you really don't need higher education to make it. I'm like, yes, you do. I was like, unless you need some sort of higher education, either college or trade school or the military, because outside of those three things, you're just not going to make it today.
I guess you
And
need at least some how to say that. I'm looking for the word today. I'm like
unless you get your hair out.
the economy basics things, so you can start your own business. So you know about the taxes and stuff. So you basically have to know the legal stuff pretty well and the economy side of things. That's definitely always good to know, because if you don't, any adventure that you do into like even self-employment is going to shut down real quickly, and you're going to be in debt quicker than you can say anything, because the
Well,
state
yeah,
will.
I was just saying like people shouldn't listen to these red pill content creators who tell them don't go to college and stuff like that. And I'm
Eh,
like, these same dudes are telling people that themselves have college educations, and they're telling people don't. I'm like, don't listen to these people. I've made whole videos talking about that, by the way. But um, no, my point is just that because everyone because of this sort of, I guess you can call it end stage capitalism, everyone is struggling right now. So I was like, I think a lot of people would compromise on their virtues just to get a leg up, whereas you wouldn't. So I was telling people right when you came in that, when people complain that there aren't, virtuous women out there, I was like, there still are, because look at you,
mm,
like you would be in a position where someone might offer you some sort of quid pro quo deal and you would still turn it down.
yeah, I
And I
guess a
was
couple
like, I can't say that of a lot of people, because a lot
really.
of people will take it. And I was like, look at these women, these so-called Instagram models who
Lord.
they all pretend they're making a lot of money, but
That's right.
offline, these women are being flown out to Dubai to have people shit on them for a lot of money.
uh
So, and I'm not even exaggerating. Like that really happens. Like
I know that happens.
yeah. So that's crazy. So you're a good person that you
uh
wouldn't take
I,
a quid pro quo musical deal.
I appreciate the compliment.
Because I no, I think a lot of seriously, unless you're an industry plant, I think most of these people are taking sort of quid pro quo deals nowadays. So that's
Mm,
just my cynicism. So
no, I think you're right. There's a lot of like artists that warned about these kind of deals, like even like Linkin Park. There's lots of videos out there. The guy, he's
then
not with us
there,
anymore, Chester
then
Bennington.
there's other folks. Then there's other folks who get in because they're nepo babies.
Oh yeah, 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 definitely. Or people get accused of being nepo baby. The best route would be for an indie artist to make their own label and have trustworthy people. It's always helpful in any kind of thing that you want to accomplish. Have a bunch of trustworthy people, and that's really
Well,
the most difficult thing is have to find people that really got your back, won't like stab you and leave you hanging if you really need them like, in situations like that. Because when money is involved, oh gosh, what the heck is going on? I can't. The feedback is
well, well, yeah, like I said, there's some nepo babies, but some of them are talented. Others aren't. But um, what were you just saying? Um, right after that, because I was about to piggyback on something you just said a second ago. You said, I can't remember what you just said.
and pictures women. That's what
No,
we.
after
That's
that, way after that, when I was talking about the nepo baby thing.
some are industry friends.
Yeah, like after that,
Oh gosh, you're making me
I think
replay the.
memory. This is why I drink coffee, but I have water right now. But this is why I drink a lot of coffee. And guys, you can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com. The link
Oh
is
yeah.
in my description if you want to buy me a coffee. Like
He wants to pay
Flutter
you.
bought me some, and she even bought a membership for Buy Me a Coffee.
Oh,
So shout out to Flutterby. Hopefully she'll be back.
maybe different
I
time.
think I think I need to keep making like exclusive member only videos to keep her engaged.
Oh, yeah, maybe you should do that. You know, get
I'm
special.
gonna do another one. I'm gonna do one on secrets of a flat stomach. I think
Oh,
I'll probably do that next. I was gonna do that yesterday or the other day and just didn't get around to it yet.
yeah.
I
Oh,
think
that's.
I'll do that.
Is
But
it something that you're interested in? Or are you picking it kind of specific? That's why I was asking.
what's that?
It sounds kind of specific. Is that something that she was interested in, that she was asking about, or why you picked that topic?
Oh no. This is no. She never suggested any topics. This is just something I thought of.
Okay.
Because
All
these
right.
were things I were probably going to do anyway, but with the memberships, I was like, I might as well make these membership only videos
Okay.
so I won't have the wrong people trying to share it.
Okay. Yeah.
Like the only way you would be able to share it is if you're a member. So
Okay.
if you share it, at least you've paid for it. So,
Oh yeah.
um,
So flat stomach. Okay. Interesting.
but I will make some fitness stuff available for everyone. Like I said, I'm going to do a martial arts workout video for everyone. I was going to do it several weeks ago, but when my cousin moved in, she moved into the space where I was going to do it. So now I either have to do it outside and
Yeah, I
have to
was about
deal with all the problems with doing this outside, or I can do it in here because I want it to be like a sort of do-it-yourself workout fitness thing at home.
makes
So,
sense.
I'll still decide, but I'm not gonna make that members only. It'll be for everyone.
Okay.
Well, but anyway, get back to what I was saying.
Nepo
Uh,
babies. Some are
yes, I was talking
talented.
about nepo babies and industry plants and
Is
uh,
no, just agree with you. Yes. You're
I,
stuck there.
but yeah, and I got stuck because you were saying something and I was gonna reply to something you said and I
Oh.
can't recall what you said, but it was literally right after you said nepo babies and stuff. You were saying something and I was gonna reply to it.
Have to do the route, and the best way would be to do your own label and have
Oh
trust
yeah,
with.
yeah. Oh, that's what I was gonna mention. So I was like, well, the thing is, like, a lot of these record deals now, like, they offer the artist their own label. That's why you
Really?
see all these little hip hop stars and other folks who have labels because part of their deal is they get a label with
Oh.
that with that uh with that record company.
It's probably still a sub
So
label.
that they can have their own, so that artist can have their own artist under their label. Say they
But
make it's
still,
another way of them making money.
it's still a pyramid, basically, because
That
the
is,
big
but I
fish,
mean, it makes
all
sense.
the smaller ones.
But it's good though for the artists like to come in and they off its own label because they can make money off that. And but here's one of the things I've also heard, like a lot of the old school musical legends have said, especially at least in hip hop, and this probably goes for rock and stuff as well. I'm getting feedback now, but they were saying that a lot of these artists don't even need to go to get with a record company now to release their own stuff. Like they could just do it online. And they was
Yeah.
telling like some of these young artists, man, just release your stuff on like YouTube and other places and get do it that way. Like for instance that half Chinese, half Korean actress, she started off as a rapper, a YouTube rapper. What's her name?
Ice Spice. No.
No, I said Asian,
Oh.
half
I think
Chinese, half Korean. The chick that's on uh
I don't
who's
know.
she in? She is in so much crap. Like she's right now in a new movie on Prime with what is her name? She can't rap, by the way, and she made this song that she got famous for on YouTube called My Badge. And I'm not even joking. Like she got famous for singing a song called My Badge, saying basically saying that her vagina queefs. And she made a whole song about that.
Oh. No, probably not my type of music.
Aquafina, that's her name. Aquafina. You never heard Aquafina?
I think I'm mixing her up with somebody else in my head.
She was in that. She blew up in that movie about Singaporean Chinese people, um, rich. What's it called? Filthy
Like
rich Asians or whatever.
Asians or something.
Filthy rich Asians or whatever it's called.
Crazy Rich Asians,
Crazy
something.
rich Asians. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it's
yeah.
called. She
Oh,
got
did
big in that,
okay.
but she's been on ever since she's had like a deal with Disney. So she's made movies with Disney,
Uh,
like in Marvel. Like she was in the Shang-Chi movie. Um, she played a dragon in Raya and the Last Dragon or whatever.
oh wow.
But you don't watch a lot of movies, I can tell, or
Not that.
TV and stuff. But yeah, she's in a bunch of. I guess she has a deal with Disney. Um, but yeah, she started off as a YouTube rapper,
Oh.
and she's not particularly good. And her voice sounds like she smoked. She's only like in her like I guess early 30s, late 20s. I'm not even sure. But
Okay.
her voice sounds like she smoked like 100 cigarettes.
Maybe she did.
No, she says that's she actually said that's her natural voice. Like that's how she actually sounds.
Yeah, I mean it can happen actually. So
But well, I was just saying, like to those guys' credit, saying that you don't really need to get like a record deal to get big. They're right. Like you can get it. You can make it from just getting notoriety on like through social media now.
yeah, but it's a lot of work because you're competing with so many other people because it's so accessible
Mm,
in a way. It's a good and a bad thing. Into I'd say it's a good thing because I always advocate for more freedom and having the control over your creative output because I don't think it's cool when artists just don't even write the songs themselves anymore. It's just like, music is such a personal thing. It's the expression of your feelings and your soul, basically. And if it's like something else, you just become a shell, just an image of something else, of the vision of somebody else. So,
And and then I know one platform where a lot of artists used to go to was what is it called, Stream Cloud or something? What is it?
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud. Is that still a thing?
Um,
Or is
Yeah,
that kind of,
depending on the type of music.
or is it
If
kind of passe
like
now?
rapper, SoundCloud rap it was a thing, is a thing. Um, but SoundCloud is, I mean, there's you can still discover cool music there, but it's usually before people move on to YouTube or Spotify. Is that Chris Rock?
No, it's your
I
mother,
was
you bitch.
that's always
Sorry,
people.
I feel like roasting trolls right now because
Yeah, do
there's
it.
no one there's no one appearing right now, so I have no problem talking to these little nutbags. And this person probably isn't even American. It's like some little African spear chucker. Sorry. You
It's a
come to my live and you try to talk shit, be prepared to be roasted. I'm with the
thing.
shits and giggles, and I'm with the smoke section all day long. So keep
Oh,
trying.
gone. Where gone? Chris Rock. It's funny.
Because
People always
because
call me.
obviously I look nothing like Chris Rock. So if they want to try to talk.
Never mind the jokes on me. What you talking about? Record deals, I think, and labels, and SoundCloud. SoundCloud was the last thing we talked about. SoundCloud rappers getting big without
What about Apple? Doesn't Apple have a platform that people can upload their music to as well?
iTunes. Yeah, you can basically distribute it there if you
Oh,
like.
through iTunes? I thought it was a different one.
Huh?
I said, was it iTunes? I thought it was something else they had. Then they like a different thing called like Apple Music or something like that.
Could be, but it's not really something that you actively like log yourself in, because how it
Uh,
works, you have a song, you make an artwork, you put everything together, and you choose a distribution service. There's different ones out there, and you pay a monthly, not monthly or yearly fee to use it. It's quite cheap. It depends what kind of features you want. It can be pretty cheap or a bit more expensive. You upload your song, and then you click which platforms it should be uploaded to, and Apple or something is in there, I guess. So it's like a
but it is something for like content creators to upload their music though.
You mean there's like a specific platform from Apple?
Yeah.
I think it's Apple. It's has its own like weird rights and stuff, like legal things. Like they're very specific. Spotify is pretty easy going, but with Apple, I think I only see big artists do it usually, like having these deals and Apple TV deals and special Apple feature campaigns and stuff. But I'm not aware of any specific platform that, like YouTube, for example, that people go to consume the music, or
But
upload it specifically or
YouTube
something.
has one. It's called YouTube Music, I think.
Yeah, that's an automatic thing. YouTube Music, it creates an automatic account for you if you're an artist, and you have to sign up for Spotify for artists, and then it automatically gets created. You don't do anything. You don't access it. You don't do it
So
manually. It just
have you
gets.
done that?
Huh?
So you've done that?
Yeah. I've uploaded all my music, like a lot of music on Spotify too. Like Spotify and
Oh, for real? Okay.
yeah, for real. Yes.
I
That's why
didn't
I know.
know.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, Mrs. Contrarian was surprised when she went to your I think to your Instagram.
Oh.
So she started following you
Yeah,
on her personal
I
account.
follow
Like
her. I know.
what's that?
I said hello. I follow her too.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I think I don't know if she even got up yet. It was her mother's birthday yesterday, so
I
um
saw that just a second ago. I was
so
trying to go back into the stream and saw his story because it popped up. I was like,
uh,
uh,
yeah, she was up all day. They made food. Like her sisters made like the Korean version of sushi using bibimbap.
okay.
And she was like, I like that better than a sushi because it's not raw fish. And I was
Right.
like, baby, not all sushi is raw fish. That's only sashimi. I was like,
No,
sushi can literally be anything that they put in that that roll with the rice.
Yeah, true.
And then the opposite version is where the rice is on the outside of the wrapping. That's
Mm-hmm.
called uh
California rolls.
huh.
California rolls?
No. California rolls is just like a type of sushi. No, I'm talking
Is
about like, so you
it
have
nigiri?
two types. Huh?
Nigiri?
No, not nigiri. No, I'm saying it's just two different ways you can roll it. Like either you can roll it with the rice on the outside, or you can roll it with the rice on the inside. But
Yes.
it doesn't have to be raw fish. I was telling her it can be anything. I've told her I've seen hamburger sushi, so and she was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, like the sushi is just the style of the preparation, but it doesn't have to be raw fish or just steamed vegetables. It can be anything."
Yeah, that's true.
But I was saying it's the sashimi. Most people confuse sushi with sashimi, the raw fish. So,
Mm,
but
I mean,
so they made it bimbab, which so they use like the Korean. I think that's usually like chicken or beef that they use with the Korean bimbab.
mm-hmm.
And I was telling her, I said, you can do that with sushi too. Like that's not a Korean thing. Um, but so her sisters made that. She made lasagna
Oh,
and and she bought her mom Jollibee, which is funny because I actually spoke, I had spoken with her mom yesterday and wished her happy birthday. And I was like, "Hey, mom," I said, do you also want a Jollibee birthday party?" Like, like I gave her, and her mom was laughing. She's like, "No," but she's like, "I would like some fries and Jollibee chicken." I was like, "All right." I was like, I would tell your daughter," and she started laughing. She's like, "Okay." So I told her, so she actually bought her some Jollibee chicken, and she had and her mom had like her friend, like some family over, and her Zumba friends, because
okay.
for some reason every like old Filipina in the Philippines likes doing Zumba. so she had her little, my wife was up all night with my with my mother-in-law and all her siblings and stuff. So she'll probably be getting up pretty soon if she's
Yeah.
not already up.
I was about to answer to the comment, but I think the
Oh, go ahead.
person.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it was like about Spotify is kind of a hell of a app where they motivate you to upload your cool stuffs more. It's like they like to exaggerate the platform a lot more than we could ever think of. Yeah, Spotify is like that kind of people put it on a pedestal. Like, oh, if you put it on Spotify, you must be really big and you must have made it or something. It's like,
Right,
like
and and until you mentioned it, and not so, I didn't even know you could upload your own music. I thought it was only for like, no, I thought it was already for like established like recording
no,
artists.
no, it's just a common misconception, I think.
Plus, yeah,
It takes
and
a while.
and I agree with you as well. Like they do, I agree with both of you saying they kind of hype it up because now they make it like, oh, if you do really well on Spotify, you're better than these musical legends in the past. Because they were trying to say people like Taylor Swift and Drake are now bigger than Michael Jackson because they do better on Spotify. And
Are
I'm like,
they?
of course not. Of course they aren't because it doesn't make any sense. First of all,
Otherwise, I haven't
first,
checked. But it would be
first,
interesting.
no. So first of all, it doesn't even make sense because you're comparing him to a man who died in 2009, who once his like he stopped making music at like the year before he passed away, and his stuff he has been making music since the literally since the 60s, and his music is still killing it on Spotify. But yes,
Mm.
it's not going to do better than recent artists, of course, but they can't compare their fame to his. Like, if you're going to compare Michael Jackson, you got to compare him to people like the Beatles, Elvis Presley, Madonna, and Prince. You can't. Drake and Taylor Swift are nowhere on his level. There's no place they don't know. They will never know his fame level of fame where he could go somewhere and the entire city is like entire portion of the city is blocked off because they just heard that Michael Jackson is in a hotel right nearby. They gotta block off that whole section of the city. A man who could just fly Like you can go to the most random place in the world and they start playing Michael Jackson and they start dancing. I told you my story in Germany. Like we're literally in a bar just chilling. They just randomly played a Michael Jackson song. The whole everyone in the plate in the lounge just started dancing, like just out of
Yeah.
nowhere. And this is in Germany. Like
Yeah.
no one's going. I'm sorry, no one's going to do that to a Drake song. Like no one.
Yeah.
You're not
Different
going to be. You're
fame.
not going to
It's a
be.
kind of popularity. I think it's a different kind of fame if you
You're
look
not going
back
to be
in
sitting. Yeah,
decades.
they're not on this level of fame.
Artists,
Like
you
you're
know.
not going to be sitting in Budapest and someone plays Drake and all of a sudden everyone in the place just starts dancing. That's never going to happen. Same thing with Taylor Swift. No one's going to get up all of a sudden and start dancing to Taylor Swift in like Punta Cana somewhere in the Dominican Republic. Like it's not going to happen. But I bet you if they put on Michael back in the day anywhere in the world, I don't care if it was Antarctica. If there were people stationed in Antarctica, those like, if it was a bunch of scientists sitting in Antarctica studying seals or something, I bet
Yeah.
you they start playing Michael, those scientists would get up and start dancing. That's how that was his level of fame. That's why he was called the king of pop. People using Spotify as sort of some demarcation of people's fame is just completely like out of proportion.
It's a measuring tool, but it's not really accurate for you. It's kind of a measuring tool for the type of consumption age of consumption that we're living in, I would say, because back then, having to being able to go to even record music was a special thing. It wasn't offered to anybody. It has a different had a different kind of standard and a different kind of prestige added to it as well, like that people looked up to, and like, oh, he must be like, talent was actually something that was treated differently nowadays because it's so accessible to everybody. And you can have like a one-hit wonder thing on Spotify and have like for 1 month, like say 10 million listeners or something. That happened. If I don't know if you know Eva Doobie, she's pretty huge UK artist. She had one song blow up out of nowhere, and her numbers exploded. But still, you wouldn't compare her to like Prince or Michael Jackson. It's a whole different type of, like time frame we're living in, and consumption, and it's people don't listen to albums as much anymore. It's like a very fast paced thing. The next big hit, and everybody's looking for that next dopamine hit or next big song, and the songs getting shorter and stuff. And there's not the investment anymore as much
So
as
yeah, that can happen with digital content creators. Like you can go viral on
yeah,
one video, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna suddenly be like a big influencer because you have one video that got
yeah,
1 million views or something like that. Like I've had one or two videos that really got big for me at least, but that didn't suddenly like catapult me into like the levels of like a Matt Pat or what's the guy I don't know, whatever the guy PewDiePie,
PewDiePie.
whatever. Huh?
PewDiePie.
Yeah, whatever that dude's name is. Like yeah, that doesn't happen. Like every content creator is waiting for that one video to
To
go
go
viral
viral.
so they can make that. That's not how it really works. It has to be consistency. There has to be a consistency of quality. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, the whole fame thing is it's a matter of luck.
It's not
Um,
all. I mean,
talent is a part of it, but also luck. But more so luck.
being in the right place at the right time, kind of thing. I don't know.
That's to be honest, anyone can be a Spotify artist nowadays. It's just that that's not rocket science to grow on that platform as it seems. Yeah, I see. Like I said, you guys let me know before this conversation. I didn't even know that you could upload your own content on Spotify. I thought, yeah.
Also, money involved and connections, because I don't know if you're aware, but on Spotify there's these playlists,
Mhm.
editorial playlists, and other playlists that everybody desires to get into, because that's kind of the heavy rotation of Spotify that the huge audience gets exposed to. So you have more plays and more chances to gain fans and listeners. But to get on these playlists, you have to either know somebody who is making these playlists, like these people that pick up the songs or choose if they want to put it in or not, or you have like some, you maybe pay them to, I don't know, but or it's just purely if you're lucky or something. But that's what people aspire to. You basically, it's a connection game, and being nice to these kind of people, and just not pondering what do you say, when you like basically do, it's kind of selling yourself out in a way to get accepted by these people, to get put on that playlist, pleasing them.
So sometimes,
So
so I think people overdo the whole selling out thing. Sometimes I think you gotta look at it the way Kevin Samuel said. You gotta buy. You're not selling out. You're buying in. It's a trade off. So,
yeah.
but can you do me a big favor? Can you handle the chat? I'll be right back.
Yes, of course.
I'll be no longer than like 30 seconds to a minute.
I can handle the chat. I hope I wish I could get rid of the feedback, but whenever I try it, it just stops.
All right, I appreciate it. I'll be right back.
Yeah, don't worry.
All right.
Hello, chat. I don't know if who's even in the chat, but if you got any questions, just pop them in there. I'm not used to being on stream, actually. Kind of new to that. So, but yeah, Spotify definitely is hello. Ah, cool that you're still here. Yeah. Do you make music too, or are you just stopping by? Or do you have favorite artists on Spotify? Or do you just where do you find your music? Where do you live? I'm German. I live in Germany. How about you? That'd be interesting. Um yeah, I'd be interested to know you pick up new music. Do you use Spotify or usually YouTube or SoundCloud or something else? It's always interesting to know how people consume music, I guess. Where do you live? What made you click on the stream? Hello to the other person in the chat too. There's two people watching. Hello to the shy person in the background watching the ventilator on the left. Yeah, I'd be interested.
So I think Natsu might be the only one in the chat because I can't even see because it's just three dots.
One. There was two people, but
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't show it.
not to Spotify. Oh, that's cool. What is it called? Natsu Maps and Spot Music. I'm gonna check that out. That's interesting.
Maybe you can upload your content to his platform. That might help.
I actually been invited to some platform by some legit guy. I was thinking it was a scam first, but it was actually legit. But it was like you have to pay into the platform so you'll be able to use it or something and promote it for free, basically. And I'm like, no, not doing that. I'm not paying you.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. But
Yeah,
thanks for holding it down. I had to answer the call of nature. So,
no problem. We
but
all go how important it is. Don't hold it in. Don't hold it in.
uh,
It's not a good
I
idea.
mean, I can when I need to, but that's
Healthy.
uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable when you try and talk to people.
Yeah, and it's not healthy either. It's
Well,
actually
well, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do because if I'm a veteran, so some places it wasn't advantageous to go, so you had to learn to be a big boy and hold your bladder till you could.
yeah, I understand that. I heard some funny stories actually on YouTube from some guy who is a reserve veteran. I think he's in reserves, yeah. And he told some really funny stories about things like
I can bet. Oh, for people, this is my Han Solo T-shirt here, guys. And so a lot of Star Wars nerds will say Han shot first. Actually, no, he didn't. He was the only one who shot because in the remakes by in the editing of the movies by George Lucas, he made it so that the bad guy shot at Han, and then Han shot back in retaliation because he thought that making Han Solo just straight up shoot this guy without him even shooting at him made Han Solo a bit of a scoundrel, and he was like, that's not really befitting someone who would end up in a relationship with a princess. So he when he remastered the films and re-released them in theaters and on video, he made it that he edited it so that the guy actually shot at Han, and then Han shot back in retaliation, and then Han
Okay.
just sort of dodged the laser blast and shot him. So it was this long-standing thing online that people kept saying Han shot first, and I was like, actually, no. If you watched the original Star Wars, he was the only one who shot. He just straight up murdered the dude because no, the guy was threatening him. He was a bounty hunter. He was gonna take Han Solo back to the person who he was smuggling for. He was smuggling spice and stuff like that, like which relates to the movie Dune, but I don't even want to go there right now. But he was smuggling for this uh, criminal named Jabba the Hutt,
Oh,
and
I heard that so many times. The job of the hut is an
yeah,
insult, actually.
yeah, it's an insult against fat women. So,
Yeah, oh, okay. Yeah, I see now. Okay, yeah.
but yeah, so Jabba the Hutt is actually like a intergalactic crime boss,
Oh,
and Han starts off in the movie as a smuggler for him, but he's wanted by him, and he has a bounty on his head because he had to ditch one of his loads to get away from the the some Imperial forces that were coming after him, and then he never paid Jabba Hutt back for that, and this bounty hunter is coming after him in the beginning of the movie, the first Star Wars, and he's willing to take Han back, either wanted dead or alive. And you could tell he was about to try to shoot Han. So Han just straight up shot him first, and well, not shot him first. He just straight up murdered him because the guy never got a chance to shoot him. But in the mastered version, he did try to shoot at Han, and Han just did like
yeah.
this. The blast went by his head, and he shot him. It makes him look like he did it in self defense. Where in the original version, no, he just straight up murdered him.
Oh, well.
I prefer the version where he just murdered him because that's real.
Yeah. I was just laughing because the guy in the chat says he's from Sweden and PewDiePie is actually Swedish, I think.
Oh, okay. What's up, Natsu? Like,
Um,
I thought he was gonna come on here to be a troll, but he's actually a cool guy.
no,
Were
he's
you,
not a.
were you in my stream a few days ago when a guy came on and I thought he was gonna be cool and he actually flipped it and became a troll? Like he came in and asked me about thesis assignments. Then I answered them. Then he started saying like N words and all this sort of stuff. So I had to actually like kick him from the stream. And I was like, that was weird because he came in like he was like trying to be cool or whatever, and then he just started being completely out of pocket. But
Yeah, some people like that.
but no, this guy started off differently. He started off I'm thinking he's gonna be like abrasive, and then he's actually pretty cool. So uh,
Books. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna.
you
I'm
in
gonna give it.
Stockholm, Sweden.
Sweden is actually really beautiful. The country is very beautiful. I
I've
only
heard.
have positive things to say. It's really beautiful to travel to.
When I
Sweden.
come back to Europe, that's probably one of
Right.
the places I'm gonna go. So it's gonna be like Germany.
And it's.
No, we used to make fun of like no, because we used to like make fun of I think this was at work and I was making fun of German, the language, not German people like the German language. And I was like, you could just, and me and one of my friends, he's a former Marine. So he's been there too. And he was like, they would just say, hey, how you doing? They'd be like,
What?
And he was making fun of it. He said they sound like they're angry, and all they really saying is, "Hey, how are
Yes,
you doing today?"
it's very common that people think it's a harsh pronunciation and harsh language.
It was so funny though, because he was like, yeah. He said they'll say something you think is like they're angry, and he said they're just saying, "Hey, how you doing today?" And it's like, "I guten Tag, nach
Yeah,
me."
I get it
It's
though.
funny. It's
It
really,
sounds,
it was
it's like
funny.
if people say like Japanese or something, it sounds very polite, even if you're angry. And German sounds always angry if it's not that kind of
No,
thing.
and Japanese is like, and one thing I like about Japanese is a gendered language, so the men speak it a different way from the women, and there's this whole stereotype like all the women, no matter what the age, they sound like they like 13 when they talk. Hi,
Like, exactly.
whereas the
And
guys, wow,
yeah,
all the guys sound really robust and manly, like, "Ush, this is- oh,
yeah. I'm not watching that kind of content usually, but yeah, I get it. I've seen some of
no,
them.
it was actually a Filipino comedian that was making fun of this stuff.
Yeah,
This guy
yeah.
named Joe Coy. He's like a
Oh,
Filipino American. Yeah, he made fun of that.
he's hilarious. I've watched
Yeah,
some stuff. He's funny.
he was talking about all the different like ways that he was saying, guys, not all Asians talk like this. He said, but the ones who do, he said, this is how they sound, and it was really funny.
Yeah,
So
he's hilarious. Isn't that what you call Thomas? No, no, no. What he's talking about is or what he was saying or what you were saying is it's potatoes, and you just put them through a not a grater kind of thing, and then you put them together with
like hash browns
flour. Yeah, I would say similar to hash brown,
or potato
but
cakes like that, fried potato cakes.
then you eat them. We can eat them with applesauce. I think that's what you were referring to. But
Mm,
not fries. Fries are just standard. America is very way more advanced with their curly fries and sausages and all that stuff. We don't have that either, like curly fries and you fry even Oreos and stuff. You fry chocolate. You fry
we don't.
everything there.
That's just in different enclaves of like the deep south. Like we
Yeah,
don't
that's
do that.
everything. Put it in the deep fryer. Put it in, no matter
I,
what.
I would not try a deep fried Oreo cookie. Well, I would try it, but because my friend, he has something called a deep fried watermelon, and he always says it
What?
sounds nasty. But he always says it sounds nasty but tastes delicious. He's also another expat who lives in the Philippines,
Okay.
and so he batter fries the watermelon and is like dipped in some sort of icing, which I guess that's not too far from like fried ice cream. I don't know if you ever heard of fried ice
Oh,
cream.
oh yes.
I've never had it yet, but I've because that was like a thing in the '80s, and I haven't really seen any restaurants sell it since then.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it used to be sold at this little Tex-Mex restaurant here in the U.S. that went out of business. I think it was
Yeah.
called Santa Fe or something.
Interesting.
But yeah, so it's like a deep fried watermelon with like batter, and then it's
Yeah, yeah.
dipped in a little icing.
It's basically like Wiener Schnitzel. It's also like it not deep fried, but it's also in a batter.
Venus Schnitzel's good.
Oh, I
Like
don't like it.
my friend was hooked on it when we came to Germany. He was like, "Yeah, let's get some Venus Schnitzel." I was like, "Again?"
It's
He's
not
like, "Yeah."
too I don't like it. No, I like fatty meats is my thing. I like fatty
Well,
foods is my thing, but not fried. Like I don't know.
we're
Fat,
Americans. We like fatty fried foods, so
not fried. No, fried is not good, but I like good fat, good fatty foods is my thing. Like yeah.
I'm not
Uh,
I'm not a I'm not really like a nutrition Nazi, so I don't. I'll eat anything. I'll like eat whatever.
I can't because I have to stick to a
With
certain
you, yes, with you, you need to watch what you eat. So I understand.
diet.
But
Yes, I
with
have
me,
to because it will
I
make
don't
me
eat
sick.
anything. Like I have a friend, he's always trying to lose weight, so he's always counting calories. And I'm like, I don't care about that. Like I work out, so I'll just eat whatever I want.
It's not only about weight though, you know. If you just I ate completely different a couple weeks ago, like the opposite. I was eating lots of carbs and basically I wasn't gaining weight or anything like that. So actually I feel much better now because all the water retention and stuff and the sugar, like it caused so much problems in every sense, like brain and it inflammation and then skin issues and a lot of stuff has immediately cleared up. So and I already tried that style of eating a couple of years back actually, and I felt great. I feel so much better, so much better. So it's not
Let me get
only oh it makes me kind of fat or something like that. I like all sorts of foods. I'm not like a picky eater at all, but when you
let,
literally not if you're literally gonna die from your diet, you better change it, okay? No matter if you're like skinny or fat. Discord, no, no, we don't have Discord.
let me get to his comments too. He said I kind of laughed out loud when Contrarian forgot PewDiePie's name because I don't watch him. Like I've never
Thank
watched his
you.
content. But he
Thank you.
actually wasn't the person I was thinking about. It was
Amen.
another guy. Or well, maybe they are the same guy. Is PewDiePie the white guy with the goofy looking mustache, and he's like
No,
the
no.
highest paid person on YouTube?
He has the most subscribers, but I don't know. He has a kid now. I don't know how he looks. He's like a blonde Swedish type of guy. I
No,
think he got
no, that's
Mine-
not the person.
Minecraft,
I'm talking about
Minecraft
Mr.
content?
Huh?
With Minecraft content. That's how PewDiePie I think gained his
Oh
subscribers,
no,
like Let's Play
not him.
stuff.
That's not him. Then he's one of the big people on YouTube, though. Just like Matt Pat was before he left YouTube. All his channels are still up, but he just isn't involved in it anymore. But all
Yeah,
his game theory, film theory that Matt Pat started, all his channels are still up, but he just isn't involved in them anymore because he was saying YouTube was too much. But
yeah. No,
no,
no.
the guy I'm thinking about is Mr. Beast. That's his name.
Oh, him.
He's the highest paid person on YouTube. He makes more than
Okay, yeah, yeah, I see.
like like Hollywood actors.
Oh,
Yeah, he's the highest paid person on YouTube. He makes more than Hollywood actors and top level musicians. That's how much he makes on YouTube.
yeah, he
That's
changed.
who I was thinking about.
He changed to like the money and fame, but yeah, he has Discord. Who's Doctor Disrespect? Like, do you mean PewDiePie or who? That's
Uh,
what I'm getting at.
I
He
haven't got
was
to know.
talking about PewDiePie.
He says he's on his vacation also, and he said, "Isn't that what you call pommes frites in German?" That's what I was thinking of. Pommes frites.
It's
Pommes
just
frites.
fries. There's nothing
But isn't
special
that
to it.
just? But pommes frites isn't that just French fries in French? The French version of French fries is pommes frites.
Why French? No, it's just
Pommes
I don't know.
frites.
It could be. It could be a French word. I'm not aware. Yeah, it could be, but we just call them pommes. Pommes. It's just
Well, no, pommes frites. So pomme actually means like apple in French, but they use that to describe a potato. So it's like when they talk about French fries, which is actually not French but Belgian. they
okay.
how the French went if like a if like an American wanted to order French fries in in France or somewhere else in a French speaking country, they would have pommes frites. So
Okay. Okay.
I don't have a Discord. I might make one later on for this channel once I have enough
I doubt.
people, um, enough followers. I might make a Discord so that people can tap in on Discord. But right now, I don't have one. Jay says, "Remember, no matter what you're going through." Yeah, okay, that's cool.
I read that and responded.
Huh?
I already read that and responded to it.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
He said, "By the way, I work at Discord, so I out if kind of asked out if you guys had Discord by any chance." Oh, he works there, so yeah. I don't think my platform is big enough to use to for Discord to be useful, and I'm definitely not going to be plugged in all day responding to people just because it won't be worth it. But I can, like, if I get a big enough, I can make a Discord. and people can chat about my topics on there. Put up the topics. But if I do that, I'll probably need help to do that because that's just not much to be doing on my own.
Yeah. But
Like
that
that's why
comes.
we have people now that are now social media managers. They can make money
Yeah.
that can help people.
Now
If
you
I ever
see.
if I make money, I will do that. I'll hire a social media manager to do that.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, some of the stuff like I'm doing this like just as a well, this just started off as a hobby, and now that I'm monetized, I'm taking it more seriously. But yeah, if numbers are looking right, then sure I'll do like a Discord server and probably have someone who can help me as an assistant. Maybe I can get one of my sister-in-laws or something to do it. I don't know
Okay.
because there's a
Yeah.
bunch of people I've connected with on LinkedIn, and they were asking me, do I need someone to help me do stuff?
Okay. Yeah, if you got trustworthy people that fit in,
Mm.
yeah,
Do
consider
they
it. Maybe.
do they use LinkedIn over there?
Yeah, we do, but I'm not really in that kind of space. So
Over here is like almost required if you're looking for work that you have to have a LinkedIn profile.
yeah, here not really. You just basically
Because
there's a
some
lot
places,
of jobs that you can just go to and apply to and get hired because there's just a lack of workers, like a shortage of workers. And I'm like, man, I'd love to, I'm just not really. I like working actually. I enjoy it, but when you just
well, I mean, like
constantly
more the
immediately lose the job after, like, if you're sick or if a coworker is sick, it can take me out for like a month or something.
well,
And
I don't mean like the like service industry jobs, but more like if you want something more white collared, they expect like they expect you to have a
yeah,
LinkedIn profile because
maybe.
people will prefer that over a resume because because one you can upload the resume to LinkedIn so
Mm,
they can get your resume and as well look through your LinkedIn profile for all the other nuggets of information they want about you instead of just the old fashioned give me a resume with your cover letter sort of thing. Like now nowadays, like if you upload a resume, like they might just ask you for the LinkedIn in place of it. Even some of the employment websites like Indeed, which is like probably the biggest one right now. Like with Indeed, like you can just upload your resume to that, and it'll automatically just uh, file it when you apply to any place or to LinkedIn. So
yeah, I know, but yeah, Indeed is much more popular here. Indeed and Stepstone and stuff like that, I think.
okay,
Yeah,
but
definitely.
so just to tweak the algorithm, let's get back to the spiciness of this conversation. In well, let me ask you. So, how long have you been actually involved in performing, like doing music?
You mean doing music or writing music, producing music, or what
Yeah,
specific?
or
Performing.
any aspect of it. Like, how long have you been involved?
I started writing when I was 12, so it's been a
How
bunch of years.
how old are
12.
you then? Like,
That started writing songs when I was 12, and picking up guitar at 14, and producing, I would say, like properly recording stuff. I started out on my phone and very little equipment, so um, my old phone, and then used demo versions on an old computer. I would say probably 7 years producing music and playing live. I started in 2020, so not too
you
long
said,
ago.
you said you've been doing this for 7 years.
The production, yeah, like proper recording and everything. Yeah.
I mean, since 12, how long has that been?
The overall thing for, let me think, for 16 years, probably.
Oh, okay, that's a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, but not on the same level. But when you start out and you just have a guitar or something, you just write songs, and I lost a lot of songs too because like probably a couple of like 100 songs or something that was just lost, and then started over and writing new songs. So I have a lot of songs that are not released, and yeah, just never stop writing, or just yeah.
Yeah, like I said, you should write that stuff down. And like
Years.
stuff that you can't use yourself, you could give those, you could sell those to other artists. Like I
Yeah,
said,
but give a
you,
name. You know,
you
if
really,
I got requests to produce for something else, but it's usually rap music or rap production or drill rap, or what do you call it?
drill rap in Germany,
I can't produce that stuff. You know, it's not my strong suit. I can force myself,
drill
but
rap in
it's not
Germany,
gonna
that would be
work
so
out.
funny.
You know, it's a genre thing, and you have to really work together. You can be like a beat producer. You can just make beat packs. That's what rap artists usually. They just buy a bunch of beats for like very cheap, and then they have like all the copyrights, and can produce and like publish them however they want. That's one way to make money. Or you can do just a specific like customer like thing face to face with somebody or something. It's not that straightforward. You know, just because you produce music doesn't mean you can do every genre and the same skill set. You know, it's a very intuitive thing.
You should, I think you should cash out on some of these opportunities. Like I said, if you have hundreds of songs that you've never that you've written that you've never gotten to use, those could be stuff you could sell to people
Why would I
and
sell?
for money.
Yeah, but people don't want to buy ready written songs. Would love to. You can actually go to my channel. There's a bunch of stuff uploaded if you want to.
Okay.
Natsu, and thank you for the compliment. And he also complimented you, or she. I think it's a he. I don't know.
Uh oh, thank you. I don't know what talents he's speaking of with me though. I'm not using it whatsoever.
Martial arts, maybe.
Huh?
Martial arts and stuff.
Oh, I don't. Well, he's new to my channel, so I don't think he's ever seen any of my martial arts content.
Maybe. Don't know.
Possibly,
Yeah.
but
It's like
yeah, like I said, with me, I'm at a point where hey, if someone offered me to fight, because like when I was in Thailand, I was offered to fight, but I was on my honeymoon, so it wasn't even I didn't have the opportunity because the coach I was training with that day, he said, hey, he said he said you train with us for 2 weeks. He said I'll get you into a fight, and I'm like, that's cool, but I was like, I'm actually on my honeymoon. I said, so I said we're actually leaving the next day. He was like, oh man, he said, all right, well, like next time. So, but that was really a compliment to say that I just trained with him for one day. And he was like, hey, I can get you in a fight in 2 weeks.
oh,
So
wow.
yeah. So
And
that's why I like that's why like when I'm here,
imagine like being on your honeymoon and then telling your wife, "I gotta go fight. See ya in 2 weeks."
well, no, if we could have stayed, she wouldn't have mind.
Oh
But
wow.
yeah, but we were on a honeymoon, so that wouldn't have happened. But yeah, that's why I'm like when I come back here to the U.S., I'm really a snob about Muay Thai because I go to some of these MMA gyms promising Muay Thai, and it's just like a watered down version, which is mostly kickboxing and not like pure Muay Thai. And so I'm like, I'll be looking down my nose like,
Oh,
but yeah, so I do want to go back because they do offer student visas to foreigners in Thailand to go there just for the purposes of training at these gyms. So I can always do that if when I get a chance. So, but yeah,
indeed.
I guess that would be where my talent lies. But I don't have any like musical or literary talents, so to speak of.
I always found that you either have like a more sports kind of talented side. Like I'm really bad at sports, you know. I suck at it.
That
But I'm
and
more creative in other ways, you know, like music and painting and writing and that kind of thing. But I suck at sports. I couldn't even hit a football probably if you made me. But that's just the thing. I don't despise being active or anything. I enjoy it, but I can't. I wouldn't be able to do any. Like I can't control my body really well in that sense. I look stupid and all that stuff, and I can't dance, that kind of thing. So I
That
think
and
people like sporty sports way talented like you are, being really good at that, or it's rare that both sides are just equally
and
uh,
I,
present.
and I guess my other talent, if you can call it that, would be just being good in practical reasoning. As this is why I'm able to use stuff that I've learned to like talk about different sorts of topics and stuff like that because I guess that background and philosophy and stuff like that. So I can get into like these really heady, nerdy topics on the stream or off camera as well. Like I'll talk with friends and other people like that. Um, so I guess that would be my other talent, but that's not something most people usually compliment me on. They usually find it as annoying.
Oh well, it depends.
But
Says
yeah,
actually the comment. Do you see the comment?
yeah, I just saw it. Actually, I got my passion at from the eighth grade. From that time, I decided to work on computers and started programming. That's cool.
Programming is pretty. I wish I could have gotten into it, but my brain just I couldn't grasp it for some reason. I just couldn't. So I respect everybody who can actually get behind it. I never understood the logic, so it
Well,
never made sense in my head
you
for some
can you can get into IT without actually doing programming though, depending on like if you want to do like cybersecurity or maybe graphic design. You don't have to get into like the programming aspects.
reason. Yeah, but it's cool though. I would like to you know, make machines do what. It's so funny, when you work with programs, music, there's a lot of technical aspects, and sometimes you just wish you can make it work a different way, and you can program.
Well, yeah, programming deals with a lot of formal language,
Yes.
um, and logic is usually like your segue into learning formal languages because you actually have like logicians who specialize in creating formal languages for artificial intelligence research and stuff like that. Um, I have one professor who my logic class I took with. He works for NASA, so he deals with stuff like that. But there's so many different aspects of logic that people don't even realize. Like there's the mathematical aspect, there's the philosophical aspect, there's artificial intelligence aspect of it. Um, there's the linguistics aspect. So it's you know pretty. It can be actually pretty interesting, even though most people think logic chopping is like the synonym of anything that's boring. But it can be actually be kind of interesting if you have the talent for that sort of deductive reasoning.
It's true. Like this mental gymnastics kind of
But
thing,
he said
basically.
he said that's true. IT is not only about programming. There's tons of different fields you could pursue your major on. So that's true. Um, but yeah. So back to the music. So since you've been doing it, have you gained like have you found friends or relationships through your music?
Um, you mean like friendship or something?
Yeah, friendships or actual like relationships and stuff like that. Through
Mm, relationships, no. Friendships, yes, but I don't know if it was through my music and Instagram, basically. So he's one of my best friends, basically, and you know, we're on the
so
same
you
wavelength. But usually, it's a very competitive field, and people are all in for themselves, and so people
Would you?
try to use it usually to gain like um a following. If they want to like hang out with you, it's just usually, or they say things, oh, let's do 2 or 3 songs together and stuff like that, and say, oh, I'm your friend, but then they actually never care. So that kind of thing happens a lot. But or people are fascinated for you after like fascinated after they've seen you play live, and then they just forget about you a couple of weeks later or something like that. But yeah, true friendships is hard to find in life in general. So
Yeah.
I, that's not for you. You shouldn't pursue music for the sake of finding friends or um getting into relationships or finding or even getting girls and stuff. That's wrong motivation. Sorry,
Well,
wrong.
well, I'm not saying that would be the purpose, but I'm just saying usually wherever people's interest lies, where they find their friendships and relationships. So, like, if you work, um, I don't know, like in investment banking, then probably most of your friends are going to be people involved also in investment banking, and you might find women where you work. So, sort of the same sort of thing. So,
Yeah, that's right. In statistics that a lot of like people find their spouse at work, something like that, because you
or
just spend a lot of time together naturally.
or maybe
It,
near work, like, or maybe not necessarily at work, but near work. So, like, say
yes,
you work at a firm, and then right next to your firm is this nice little French bakery. So you go to this French bakery every day, and there's this really cute woman, and you just happen to spark up a conversation one day over an espresso and eating some madeleines or something like that.
that's very specific, but okay.
Because I like madeleines. That's why I mentioned it.
Yeah, I
I
was
like
thinking
madeleines. And
that.
there actually was a French bakery near one of my offices in Baltimore. So I used to go there like every other day, and like
Ah,
buy
you see,
coffee.
you see.
I would go there and buy coffee. But no, there
Uh-huh.
was no one young there I was interested in. But it was funny because that was like one of the few places I could go and speak French because the people there were actually like it was like a mom and pop French bakery.
Okay.
And I would come there, and I was like, "Salut, comment ça va?"
Mm.
And and it's like, "Oh, you speak French?" "Oui," like "Oui,
Oui, oui, oui,
petit
oui,
peu."
oui.
I was like, "Yeah," I was like, "Oui, petit peu,"
Mm.
and it's like, okay. They'd be like, "Oh, okay, d'accord." So,
Yeah.
yeah, so I would go there, but no, there was no love connections there. It was just I was just using that as an example of you might find like a relationship or friendship near wherever you go to every day because you typically people find friendships and relationships where their circle is, where they work, where they go to school, where they live, that sort of thing. So it would just make sense for like musicians probably to find love within that sphere of the industry because that's what they're always around. That's what I was asking.
Yeah, but you're not really around people that much most of the time. Only if you play shows, like
No.
especially in my case. I don't know. I'm probably a bit of a weird outlier in that kind of sense because I don't have a very busy social life. Like, and I just like to do stuff like on my own, basically. And I like hanging out too, but I like to be creatively productive. So it's not like I go every day to a club and play a show and meet people there.
Oh, my mother-in-law just thanked me. She found out that I was the reason that she got the 2 buckets of Jollibee chicken because remember I said I was teasing her yesterday and I was like, hey mom, you want a surprise birthday party like Janine? She started laughing and she's like, no, but I would like some Jollibee chicken and some fries.
Uh,
So I told Janine, and Janine got it for me. So
that's good. If she's happy, that's a win. That's a win for sure.
yeah, W. So gotta stay on
Just
the good side of your in-laws.
yeah. Oh, to keep him happy.
Yeah, but and now I want some Jollibee. I told my friend let's go back to the American one. Did you see my video when I went to the American version of Jollibee?
I've seen a bunch of your Jollibee videos.
Yeah, all of those were in the Philippines, but there's one with me eating, and that's actually at the American one near
Uh,
me.
okay, then I've probably seen it. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Because it starts off. It starts off. So the way the video starts off is my the way my wife edited it. Shows it starts off at her party, and then it transitions to me at Jollibee eating, and I make a joke about chicken, and then it's like a little chicken cutaway scene. So
Oh,
if,
well,
if you've seen that, then you've seen the video.
I don't know. I think I can't recall exactly. I just saw the one where you were sitting with your friends and you just
That's a
filming around. I think the birthday party video.
yeah. That's it. Like I said, I wasn't actually at the birthday party. She just put that in the video to make it funny, transitioning from her
Ah, okay, okay,
having a Jollibee party to me and my friends being at Jollibee eating.
okay, okay. I see. Yeah, yeah. I probably haven't seen the whole thing. I've been kind of busy, so I just switched through a couple of videos.
Uh,
Yeah,
but yeah, like I said, consider what I'm saying. Like, try to see if people want to buy your songs, because, like I said, songwriters can be more successful than the artists sometimes, because songwriting is a more consistent um it's more consistent and less what's the word, less
taxing on your
huh
health or
well
taxing
no
on
no
your
no well that too, but I'm saying songwriting is more consistent, and
longevity. Oh, the
it's
longevity
it's,
is
it's
the same thing.
it has there's more longevity in songwriting than it is as a performer.
Yeah, 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 that's true. I agree. I
Because
agree.
like I said, there's people now. There's some people who are songwriters that I didn't even know were performers, and then I see some stuff. I'm like, oh, they perform?
Usually, songwriters who get their songs performed by other people, they're pretty talented themselves, but they just
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
over.
Like a lot of songwriters, and you fit that category. Like you have both the musical talent and you can write songs. So that's what I'm saying. Because you're in a place where you have compromised health and you can't produce and perform music,
I
it
can
might
produce. I
be.
just can't perform. Like right now,
Oh, okay.
it's more of a.
Well, I mean, so like, but I mean, well, like, um, what was I gonna try to say? Well, but I was saying like producing, that's cool too if you can do that. But like, since you can't perform and do stuff like that, it might be a great idea if you just try to get out some songs to people, because you like if you have like 400 unreleased things right now,
Yeah,
you might want to shop that stuff around and see if people. I'm sure out of 400, just by numbers alone, someone's going to be willing to want one or two of them.
but it has to be a fully produced beat. People don't buy an idea; they want a fully
Not
produced beat.
no, not beats. I'm talking about lyrics. Like I'm not talking
They're
about beats. I'm talking
not
about
buying
lyrics.
that. No, they're not. It's just the only thing in that kind of stage that people will buy is basically a beat, a fully produced beat that they can rap over. That's the only market. Or YouTube sound library stuff. That's another thing. But you have to have like a fully produced beat. People not gonna buy lyrics or an idea off of you. They want a full product that they can use and they can rap over and stuff. And there's plenty of platforms for that. But people not gonna buy an idea. Like if you're like up in the industry, yes. But if you're like in my case, nobody gonna buy you or pay you for an idea of a song or like song idea or
You know,
something like that. They want to collaborate and make something together, which is cool. But they're not gonna be, oh, let me have this song idea off of you. Usually, they want to put their own spin on it too. So it's like more a collaboration than a transition. What's your
you want
channel's
to
name?
give him your channel name?
It's just Miss Needle. It's just saying like
Yeah,
MS
it
underscore
should be
Needle.
in the title. It
Yeah,
should be in the title of the stream.
I can't join the chat, or can I join the chat so I can just take maybe
You can
game?
try.
You can even type it in without underscore. You will find it. I think there's no other channel
Oh, I
that'll pop.
misspelled it because I put Miss Needle at 3205. It's 3502. So, because otherwise it would take, like, if you click on the title, it'll take you straight to your channel.
Yeah, you mismatched the numbers, I
But
think.
I'll correct it
I'm
once this is
sorry.
uploaded. I'm gonna
I have
correct
to,
it.
yeah. I have to change the numbers out to make it easier. I haven't
Yeah,
done it.
it was 3502. So, but I put
Mm,
3205. So I just gotta correct it when I upload it so that, because what happens is, like, when people click on the title, it'll take you right to your thing.
yeah, I know.
So this is
Yeah.
just from clicking. So you see how your thing is highlighted on our first screen,
Mhm.
and once you click on this, then it takes you right here. So it'll go right in.
My channel should be up. I'm not aware of it being not. That'd be scary. That'd be
I'm
scary.
thinking maybe, huh, um, I
So
might
that's
ask you to do like a
not correct.
intro for my channel,
Huh?
and I said I might ask you to do an intro for my channel, and then because I've heard a lot of content creators say a good way to get people interested in your content is to have like a good intro when the video comes on.
Yeah, I can't do intro design because my program just I had to quit like, using it because it's got too expensive. I can do the music for an intro, but I can't do the graphic part right now because my program's not working.
Oh, okay.
And it's also an animation thing, so it's a different kind of. I would find a way to do it, but I had to um graphic design and I don't know how to say it, animation thing, and I my own animations I did them with Photoshop, and I can use Photoshop, but I don't have like I can't use it right now because it costs a lot of money to use it, and I just stopped because it wasn't worth it, and you know
Don't they
that
have an introductory like thing where you can use it free for like 2 weeks or 30 days before you pay?
yeah I already used that.
Oh,
I
dang.
already did that. Yeah, that's a lot of music you get there. Thank you. That's
Or I
a
can
lot.
sign up for it and let you use it.
Not a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize how much content you have uploaded. That's why I told
Much,
you, that's why I was so shocked when I saw it. And I
really.
was like, there's no way you only gonna have like 200 something subs. And I was like, yeah, we need to change that because you should have like thousands of people looking
Uh,
at this stuff.
if you don't feed the algorithm, it's all on my shoulders, and I get that. So I'm not complaining. If
But
people,
you, but I noticed you did get several subs after we chatted. Like it went up from like 221 to like 230 or so, something like that.
yeah,
But
because
it still should be way more.
because I'm active with other people too, so and engage with other people too. So
Yeah, but yeah, you should be definitely up to like at least a couple of thousand. Because
ah,
women alone are going to attract more followers than guys because guys are more willing to follow a channel with a woman in it than they will follow like a guy, unless it's something really niche like sports
okay.
or something like that.
Yeah, I have no idea about that. I don't. Everybody's welcome if you're decent, if you're behaving, if you like my music. Fine. If you don't like it, you're welcome too. I'm not discriminating. So if people come by and say, "Oh, it's not my type of music, but hey, it's still cool. You're making music." That's totally cool with me. Don't
But
have to like.
yeah, let me know if you do get the
Thanks.
software to do it because like I said, I'll pay you to make me an intro and stuff like that, so I can use a good intro.
I mean, I have a bunch of actually I made intro song that I haven't used for myself, but it's like thing of a couple seconds, but I don't have any visual because I can't even make a visual for my own channel right now. Unfortunately, that's the only problem.
It just
Amazing.
need to be something.
Oh, it's
It,
CDP. Hi. Good to
oh,
see
what's up, CDP? I didn't even see us. He said, amazing to see you, Miss Needle and Just A Contrarian again.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, if you could do like an intro and it would be like I just needed to say Just A Contrarian somewhere in the intro, that would be cool. Or
Ac-
it doesn't. Or actually, it doesn't even have to say Just A Contrarian. It just has to show the title of the channel. It can be any, but it could be anything. Just something catchy to make people be like,
Yeah, I can think of something, but I have to really see what programs are working, how to use them. That's the only issue that I'm battling. But I'm
oh,
not lacking the skills, but it's just when stuff stops working, and that's why like a lot of stuff got on hold. Not because I'm too lazy or something, but it's like a chain reaction. You have to fix one thing, so another thing works, and another thing works, and another thing works. It can be very frustrating, but yeah, I can figure something. I guess I will
oh,
look into it. I actually spent some time on my music yesterday, so I really miss it. I was really
I
like, I was tearing up, and I was like, ah, nah,
appreciate it, not to. I,
yeah.
it, when I keep saying Nazi, I'm thinking of like anime. I don't know if that's where he got his name.
It sounds kind of Japanese to me. I don't know, could be wrong. Where are you
Yeah,
from?
because I'm thinking that he watches like Naruto.
Watch both a lot.
It can be overwhelmed, but I watch it both a lot. I appreciate it.
That's very much appreciated. I really do appreciate that. Even though I feel terrible that people come to my channel and like, where's new music? And I'm like, yeah, I know. I was very close to just putting out anything at this point because I don't know. It's
Like
just
sometimes you just gotta feed the algorithm. Like if you can just do like something on the YouTube Shorts just to get something going, that'll work too. Because for a long time I was just doing nothing but YouTube Shorts just to that I
mm,
was constantly feeding YouTube because they
yeah.
was really pushing the shorts like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I know. I know they always do that. Shorts
Like
and
when TikTok became really big, like
yes.
around 22, 23, I just kept pushing out shorts. But unfortunately the shorts weren't giving me enough watchable hours to get to where I needed to be.
Oh yeah,
So that's
yes,
when I switched.
yeah, yeah,
That's
definitely.
when I switched back to the long form content and the live streams because live streams can get you more watchable hours. Because I'm almost at the point now I can do ads now. I'm like 50. I'm about 50 hours short of being
50
able to
hours.
show like ads.
It's crazy. 50 hours,
So
dude.
now this I'll have like breaks in between my videos with ads and stuff during videos.
Okay, yeah, yeah, I see. See. Yeah, I was thinking about maybe doing live streaming too because I really enjoy going into live streams of other people. But
You should. I'll come. I'll appear.
yeah, that's very kind. But I don't really know what how to. I'm kind of
So
shy
you so
with
you have
that.
to have. I think what was the number?
50 subs, and
50,
you have to put
50
in
subs.
your phone number to YouTube to get personal and give them all sorts of information about you so they can verify, and then you'll
It
be
doesn't
able
have
to.
to be your number. It just has to be a number where they can verify you.
Yeah,
It doesn't have to
right.
be your personal number. It doesn't actually have to be your personal number. It just has to be a number where they can verify and send you the information. So
Yeah.
to verify that that's actually you. That's all. But it doesn't have to be your number. Um, but if you, so I know your laptop isn't working, but if you do
It
a,
is working, it's just not. It's not reliable right now. It's not broken in that sense. It's just
oh
not.
no, because I was gonna say you don't need, you don't have to have a certain amount of subs to do a PC live stream.
Yeah, right. But
There's no subscriber limit to doing a live stream on through
really,
the PC. Yeah, I checked it out.
for
Only for
me,
mobile. Only for
it's
mobile live. That's only for mobile live streams, not for PC live streams.
no,
For PC live streams, you don't have to have 50 subs to do it.
that, that's
Or
very. I think about it. I think about it. I just
or
read.
you can use StreamYard to do it.
Oh yeah, StreamYard. Yeah, I know that. I actually maybe you could try that too at one point. Maybe it's better audio quality if
Yeah,
if
that
you
and you can have multiple
go
people
to
on.
the thing and I go in over of a different app and not via the link on Instagram. Maybe that works better in terms of audio quality, not the feedback stuff.
Yeah, and with StreamYard, you can have multiple people on. When a mobile live stream, you can only share it with one person at one time.
Sucks.
So like, yeah, because like, so like, if I wanted to bring on Mrs. Contrarian, I couldn't have both of you on at the same time. So it
I agree.
it would
CDP,
it would
I agree.
yeah, I would either have to do it on the PC live stream or it have to be through StreamYard to do that.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, CDP says, Miss Nita, I know your fans will love you going live, even if it's just for an hour a week. Yeah, exactly. You will get way more subs just doing that. You could be like, hey guys, check out my music, blah blah blah.
I hate promoting stuff when I haven't uploaded. I just always feel like I have to give something back. I don't deserve anything if I don't put in the work myself.
Well,
That's
you have
kind
to
of what.
self promote. That's
Yeah, still, I don't. I feel terrible if people come to my channel and see there's nothing new. I feel
it's not
horrible.
the stuff
I
isn't
do.
that old though.
I
It's not
do.
that old.
I'm like, I want to hide. And I'm like, I would like to, because I played a bunch of songs live already and I know that people like them. Actually made some remix of one song that people really liked and stuff like that. But to finish them, I have to do the mixing and everything. And my gear is just not reliable right now because it takes a lot of time to get everything mixed, and my hands are just really like getting worse right now. I can't touch anything. I have to put on gloves to touch my gear because I can't clean it. That's really, really annoying. And it takes a long time to finish a song to make it sound good. And I don't know if my gear will hold up. And then I'm in the process and it's gone. So I don't know. That's why I'm a bit scared to work on anything right now because I can't touch my stuff. I can't touch my guitar. I can't sing because I will contaminate everything. So that's a big issue right now. So I'm just arranging songs at the moment because I have a lot of stuff recorded already. So I'm just putting them together basically. That's what I'm doing right now to make some progress because it doesn't take as much battery power and I can, do that. So I progress in any kind of way. Believe in yourself. I will.
The CDP said Streamlabs or StreamYards with an encoder is better.
Yeah.
He said you can also stream on
Great.
Twitch. Yeah, I've never used Twitch because that seemed like that was just for video gamers. And right
Yeah.
now, I'm gonna be honest, Twitch has just turned into a glorified OnlyFans. Like
Hmm.
it started off for video gamers, but now it's just a bunch of women who are just thirst trapping. Like that's
Yeah.
all Twitch is nowadays. And
Yeah.
to be sure, some of these Twitch streamers have moved on to OnlyFans. Like some of these girls on Twitch only also have OnlyFans. Like Twitch,
There's no
I'm just gonna say it. Twitch is trash. Like it's trash.
not my
That's,
inspiration.
and especially with people like Kai Cenat on it. Like he that little booger. Like I can't stand him. He's like probably one of the most successful people on Twitch right now.
That's why you can't stand him, maybe.
No, it's not because he's successful. It's, I don't like him because he.
I was
I don't.
joking.
I don't like. No, I don't like him because he's not talented. No. Here's my reason. Like he typifies the Gen Z people who want to get something for nothing. He you know I don't care he dropped out of college or whatever, but
Please only stream
he's like
video.
one of the highest paid people for doing nothing. All he does 24 live. He does 24 hours streaming.
Oh
So it's
wow.
like yeah, it's like so it's a bunch of kids because it's mostly kids who would just sit there and watch this dumbass do nothing all day but talk shit while he's like playing video games. And he's gotten so big that now he even has celebrities come on his channel. People um uh, like Megan Thee Stallion
Oh,
and he has genuine celebs on it. Plus, I don't like him because he's one of those Black Caribbean, Afro Caribbean people who talk shit about Black Americans. So I'm like, yeah, you're just I'm like, dude, you're just a tether because I was like, you got a bunch of Black people following you, which if you didn't, you wouldn't be making the money you want to get you on the side. And your whole swag is based on Black American culture. You're from the Caribbean. Whatever. I'm like, he's a he looks like a low budget little thing.
I
So
can't comment on any of that because I don't even know him, so I'm
yeah,
not a Twitter.
I don't like him and the people he typifies. So that's why I don't really mess with him.
Oh, CD Pete's, thank you, thank you. But I really want to give something back because even though I'm, it's kind of my normal in a way. So I always try to do more for give back and accomplish something, even when I'm like bandaged up like that, which
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah. Like I said, maybe live streaming you could take people through your journey, and you'd be surprised what sort of support you might get. Like I said, women get way more support. Like social media is really a tool more for
Hmm.
women than it is for guys. So you'd be surprised how much sympathy you might get by just cataloging your journey with your health as a musician, and doing these live streams and hey guys, this is me in my real life. I'm a musician, and but look, I can't have music the way I want to because I'm struggling right now with, with this chronic condition that I've had for a long time. You'd be surprised. A lot of people will support you, especially when they see your talent and look at the stuff that you put out on your channel already.
But there's also pressure coming from it because people always expect something. Like even close people to me who are also doing music,
Uh-huh.
they expect something. They're just like, okay, you're sick, but when is the next music video coming? Basically, that's the vibe. And that's why I'm kind of scared because the more people you get in your space, in your community, the more the expectations and the pressure will grow to get better and put out more content. And I'm always scared of not being able to keep up. That's the thing. If I'm stable enough, I'm good to go, and I will start doing something. I don't know where to begin right now. It's just organizing my life and my music and everything basically because
He's saying there's a lot of feedback. So wait a second.
it's me, I think.
Yeah, he because he was saying put on headphones. I don't have headphones. This is like I have to use wireless, and I hate wireless earphones. So
Yeah, we have to do a different kind of streaming maybe if we do it again because my
yeah, we
phone
can
is.
probably use StreamYard. That way we can bring on Mrs.
Yes,
Contrarian as well.
please.
Because I asked her would she be interested. She said yes. So
Yes, me too.
cool. So yeah, we can do it, and probably we'll do it like through StreamYard because you can do it on mobile
It's just
through
stream.
StreamYard. It doesn't have to be on your computer. And then yeah, I think that works. And
Yeah, we. Yeah.
StreamYard is a pretty good. I haven't heard of Streamlabs, but yeah, StreamYard is pretty cool.
It works.
Um,
I
Not
think
too
so.
was saying use hashtags on your music videos to reach out more.
Yes, I agree. I already did that, I think, but I don't know how to put the others. I have to figure that out. There's two different ways of doing hashtags on your videos. General, not on music videos. General. Yeah,
Is there a lot of equipment in your room? Because that might be what's causing the feedback.
there is, but it's all turned off.
No, even if stuff is turned off, like it can still like. So when I was doing my like neuroscience and we had to do like our electrophysiology labs, we had to account for like everything in the area, like even the railroad tracks all way down, way down, like past that's not even on the campus. So I know it's a further pain for them now because now they actually have a train running through the campus now. So I know they must hate that because you got to account for all of that with your signal to noise ratio when you're trying to do like these electrical readings because
Mm-hmm.
some of it's so fine tuned. And then one thing we found out, which is kind of funny, well, not funny, but nerdy, I guess, is that even if you account for absolutely everything, there's still going to be a bunch of white noise in your recordings, because that white noise that you're recording is actually the background, cosmic background radiation from the beginning of the universe. So you're always going to have some sort of noise
I know that.
signal. But like even still, like I said, we they had everything. Like we had a
Wait. Try to move the different. I think it doesn't make any difference. I think it's because I can't close the background apps on my phone, and it will squeeze the stream.
yeah, when they had a what is it, I think an MEG machine that they were using in the neural linguistics lab at the school, and so they had to account for all that sort of stuff, which was crazy. And like even when we were just doing like our little wet labs where we were just doing stuff with like animals and stuff like that, we still had to account for all the stuff that could create an imbalance in the signal to noise ratio.
Oh wow.
So yeah, like I said, if there's a lot of equipment in your room, that could be caught giving off like that feedback.
Yeah. Okay, I'm
But yeah, I
sorry.
don't. But
But
he's saying a laptop. I don't even have a laptop in this
I think
room. Like this.
because my battery is dying, I'm gone in a second. That's why, probably.
Okay. Well, we had a long segment. It's actually almost been 3 hours.
Yeah.
So guys, we are about to call it a day so she can do. She yeah. It's time for you to go to bed actually anyway, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to bed. I think I still need to go work out. And I might sneak in some food before I work. I think I'm gonna make some more pancakes. I had some earlier, and they turned out really well. I'm like, damn, I need to make some more of those. So I think I'm gonna make some more, be greedy before my workout, and call it a day. Are you still there? I think she's gone, guys. Sorry about that. So I'm gonna correct my title so that you guys can click directly on Miss Needle's page, well, channel from the title here. Big shout out to Miss Needle and thanks CDP. Yeah, that feedback wasn't coming from me. I don't have a laptop in here. That was unfortunately from her setup. Let me get through these. CDP says not to write hashtags and an at and a copy paste description and everything you do, even if it's just changing bandages or explaining your week, etc. He said we have many tech nerds at your disposal. Yeah, I'm trying to get her to start do songwriting and so she has like 400 unreleased songs or whatever. She need thinking she could capitalize off that. Um, but yeah, maybe her laptop was open, but I didn't have anything open on my end. But anyway, I'm gonna go, guys. It's been about 3 hours in, so you can catch everything else on replay, I guess, from the beginning of our conversation. But I guess I'll get some wireless earbuds at some point. I really hate those things. Like they just seem like they're built. They seem like they're just built to get lost, so that you can have to keep replacing them. I'm hip to the game. Or maybe I'm just a cynic, but I think wireless headphones were made just to. I think they were made just to get lost, so you have to keep replacing them. Just like the cheaper headphones, like the wiring was made so cheap that you have to keep replacing it every couple of weeks. All right, CDP, take care. And everyone who watches this on a replay, appreciate you guys. Give me a like and subscribe if you haven't already. You can share the video, hit the bell for notifications. If you appreciate, seeing us talk, leave me a super thanks. Go to Miss Needle's page Unfortunately, she's not set up to take a super thanks yet, but we might have to talk about her having a way so that she can receive donations so that she can use that towards her musical stuff and her health concerns. But I think that'll be it, guys. Take care and thank you. And again, you can leave me a super thanks. Check this out on the replay, or you can go directly to my Cash App or my Venmo, or to buy me a coffee like Flutterbee has so many times. Appreciate her. Hope she gets to see this. Um, Bye for now. All right, guys. See you.